trouble there in the fourth inning and might have turned the tide of the game.
He did, and he set the tone for the competitive nature with which the rest of the guys would take the ball. I mean, it was, you could tell, there's some jitters in there, some nerves a little bit early, maybe kind of just feeling for it, but he really got in the fight. Once he got in the fight, the stuff really, you can see why we're excited about him. And what we saw last year out of the bullpen, he held his velo pretty well for all 72, 73 pitches that he threw. And really he didn't have a whole lot of secondary, to go with it. So it was pretty amazing what he was able to accomplish with, the fastball and just the attack and minimizing the bases loaded, no out situation. That was the ball game right there. And that was, like I said, minimized on the mound the entire game.
Good to see the other guys behind him, too. It was funny. I rode the elevator with Chase, and he said he had cotton mouth his first 7 or 8 pitches. These guys thrown into the fire in their first extended action. Jay Sean as well, and I know it's great to see Ziola finish it off.
Yeah, all those guys. I thought Chase was incredibly poised out there for his first career outing. Looked very, very confident. Really thought he was going to roll and maybe give us multiple innings. Got a bit extended there with that 2-out rally, but, he punched out. I think three of the 4 outs that he recorded were by punch out. He had all 3 pitches going. Jay Sean, just mound presence deluxe. It was fun to watch him and where he's grown just from in a short period of time from last year to where he's at now in terms of his mound presence, holding 93, 94 for both innings and throwing 4 pitches, honestly, 4 pitches for a strike, and everything was around the zone, a lot of small misses, and Ziola coming in and being able to get his feet wet with a game, that was an 8-run game was nice.
I think a lot of people are going to point to the number of hits at this point, but I think the thing that's impressed me most is the situational hitting as well. Guy at third, less than 2, hitting runs, driving runs in. That's the stuff that you probably got to be pretty proud of.
Yeah, and that's something that we talked about before the day started yesterday of like, hey, the 2-out RBI are great, but it's hard to rely on that. So we need to make sure that we do a great job of going first to third and setting the innings up where we don't need to hit with a runner at third. And we've done a nice job of that. A few too many punch outs yesterday for my liking. We are extending the counts quite a bit, so there's going to be some 2-strike at bats. We kind of got off the fastball a little bit at times, but again, we're talking about a game where we scored 9 runs on 14 hits. It's good to learn lessons in those type of games.
More conversation with Coach Bold after this on the Huskers Radio Network.
At Central Valley Ag, no 2 poultry operations are alike. Neither are their nutrition needs. That's why CVA Power Flock delivers tailored feed solutions for all stages of poultry production. Between February 2nd and 22nd, when you buy 6 bags or more of any CVA Power Flock product, you'll get a free CVA mug. Get trusted nutrition and local support you can count on. Learn more at cvacoop.com. Central Valley Ag, the official co-op of Husker Nation.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Lease the 2025 Cadillac Lyriq Luxury 3 for $699 a month for 24 months and 10,000 miles per year. Or receive up to $8,000 in savings on the 2025 Cadillac XT5 Luxury. Shop Woodhouse Cadillac today. With approved credit, tax title license extra. First payment $299 doc fee due at signing. Subject to current rebates and inventory. Stock number KK250401 is courtesy transportation vehicle with 2,649 miles. Stock number KK250527 is courtesy transportation vehicle with 1,323 miles. Offer expires March 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Today, Nebraska and Stanford will wrap up the opening weekend. Today, a little bit of a change-up going with Novacek, but I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. I know this is a young man you guys are very excited about.
Absolutely. And for us to be able to hold him not knowing what, how Coop was going to feel, allowed us to see some of these other guys that we've been able to see the last 2 days. And Colin's been as consistent as any pitcher in our program, going back to, last September, basically. Lowest whip in the fall, lowest whip this January. And so he's going to be well prepared to go compete.
Yeah, I mean, obviously today, a college baseball brand in front of us with Stanford. What do we expect in the type of baseball we're going to see from them today?
Yeah, they've got a good team. I mean, they've played in some close games here, the first 3 games, and they have a highly, highly touted prospect on the mound today. Usually you get into game 4, you don't know what you're going to see. Well, this kid turned down some money in the draft, electric arm, another lefty. It's going to be a good battle today, a good test. And, one of the messages to the guys is, for us to be the team we want to be, we don't play the jersey name, the brand name on the front of the chest. We just go play our game and make them match our intensity level.
All right, what's our lineup looking like to finish it out this weekend?
Yeah, Worthley will be back leading off and catching. Bucks at second base, Sanderson at first, Overbeek at third, Carey at short. Kitchens is going to slide up to the 6th hole. Butenbeck is in right. Jeski's in left, hitting 8th, and Mac Moyer is going to make his first career start in center field.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
Coach Bull here with us pregame. We have more coming up. This is Big Red Baseball.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
When First Dakota National Bank created Dakota Mac in 1993, we knew we could offer ag producers something few other banks dared to. Long-term, fixed-rate loans for ag real estate refinances and purchases. Today, we go by Landera, and we provide the same great service and even more banking options to help your operation thrive for generations to come. Banking evolves. Trust endures. Landera, a division of First Dakota National Bank.
Did you get us switched over to shelter insurance?
Actually, I found a deal online.
You did? Does your deal come with award-winning customer service?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Does the deal include a local agent?
Doesn't actually say.
Can we create a customized plan that fits our needs? Let's just call the local shelter agent.
For insurance that fits just right, find a shelter agent near you.
See shelter agents Reed Duvall, Natalie Kerr, or Mike Shefford in Lincoln today.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
Here inside the Acres Broadcast Studio, I'm Christopher Sullivan-Diaz. Time now for a check of the scoreboard, brought to you by the Nebraska Lottery. You know that dollar bill you have stuffed in your pocket? Give it a little respect. It can buy you a Lotto America ticket from the Nebraska Lottery and maybe win you millions. Play today. Lotto America top prize odds of 1 in 26 million. Here shortly before Nebraska takes on Stanford out in Arizona. Let's start things off in the Caribbean with Houston versus Washington in the Puerto Rico Challenge. The Cougars lead 6-3 in the bottom of the 5th. Then we'll take it back to the mainland with the Michigan Wolverines taking on the 11th ranked Oregon State Beavers in the college baseball series and surprise Arizona that it currently has no score in the top of the 4th. How about BYU versus Kentucky? BYU up on Western Kentucky 5-1 in top of the 3rd. And at 2 p.m., you'll have 8th ranked Arkansas taking on Tarleton State. Later tonight at 6 p.m., Kent State takes on number 2 LSU. And at 6:30, number 21, Oklahoma, hosting New Mexico State. That'll do it for me here in the Acres broadcast studio. We'll take a short break, and when we come back, we'll send it over to Nick Hanley with starting lineup. Stick around right here. You're listening to Big Red Baseball.
Nothing goes better with Husker sports than Fairbury. Fairbury, premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. The highest quality beef, pork, and natural spices give you the best tasting hot dog and your hometown favorite Big Red hot dog. Look for Fairbury hot dogs all year long at your local grocery store. Fairbury, the official hot dog of the Huskers and Nebraska fans everywhere.
What does it mean to be locally owned and operated? For Cenex, it means everything. It means that we know if you take your coffee to go or if you like to stay a while. It means we've helped Little Leagues get jerseys and local festivals get funding. It means we know what our communities need. So you'll always leave Cenex with a full tank, full of snacks, or full of smiles. Or all of the above. And that means the world to us. Cenex, powered locally.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists. Shop the sales and get fuel savers. Talk about convenience. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
RE/MAX is the official real estate partner of Nebraska Athletics, and we understand there's a number for everything: square footage, down payment, interest rates. But how do you measure the trust you have in your agent? For a RE/MAX agent, it's not about numbers on a contract. It's being a trusted RE/MAX agent. That means you'll get honest advice, expert guidance, and someone who's committed to your success. Because while numbers count, trust is what truly matters. RE/MAX, the official real estate partner of Nebraska Athletics. Each office independently owned and operated.
The color red means something to us. It means tough, ready, and powerful. It means our standards are high, and we expect the highest level of performance on and in the field. So while the Huskers are getting it done on the football field, you can count on Massey Ferguson tractors to get it done in your field. With its seamless CVT transmission and efficient AGCO-powered engine, you'll keep charging down the field all season long. Check out the full line of Massey Ferguson equipment at Osceola Implement in Osceola and True Ag and Turf in Falls City, Columbus, and Osmond.
Want a real home field advantage? Start with comfort you don't have to think about. John Henry's delivers reliable heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical service with skilled service professionals ready to help. From strange sounds to weak airflow, flickering lights, or slow drains, we'll get your home back in the game. Proud to be an official partner of Husker Baseball. Make the easy call to John Henry's today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. This is Kyle Crooks, the voice of the Huskers, telling you to level up with the new Husker Visa debit card, free with any FNBO checking account. Be one who lives it, one who proves it. Every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at FNBO.com/Huskers. One for the fans, one for you. Member FDIC.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
Nick Haley and Ben McLaughlin with you here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick Park, getting ready for the final day of action for Nebraska here in the MLB Desert Invites. Nebraska head coach Will Bolt and Stanford head coach David Esker all talking at the plate. Let's give you our starting lineups before we get this one underway. Stanford will be the visitors on the scoreboard. Take a look at their starting lineup. They'll lead off with their right fielder Tatum Marsh, followed by shortstop Charlie Bates. Batting third will be Jimmy Natai playing second base. Cleanup hitter for the Cardinal will be DH Brady Reynolds, followed by Rintaro Sasaki playing first base. Then it's J.J. Moran at third. Ethan Hott in the 7 hole playing center field. Batting eighth, the catcher Nolan Stoll. And rounding out the lineup for the Cardinal will be the left fielder Brock Sell. Starting pitcher for Stanford is freshman lefty Brooke Kettleson. That's the starting lineup for the Stanford Cardinal. Now taking a look at the 3-0 Nebraska baseball team. They will lead it off with catcher Jeter Worthley, followed by Jet Buck playing second base. Batting third will be first baseman Case Sanderson. In the cleanup spot for the Big Red will be third baseman Joshua Overbeek. Dylan Carey will bat fifth playing shortstop, followed by Cole Kitchens moving up to the sixth spot. He will do the DHing for Nebraska. Batting seventh, right fielder Max Butenbach, followed by Will Jeske moving up into the eighth spot. He'll play left field. And rounding out the Big Red lineup will be center fielder Mac Moyer getting his first start for Nebraska. Starting pitcher for the Huskers is Elkhorn product Colin Novacek. And with more on this sophomore lefty, here's pitching coach Rob Childers with our pitching preview.
Well, I just want him to go out there and be himself. From September all the way up until today, he's pitched at as high a level as anybody on our staff, and I'm excited for him and for us, and I think it's the right matchup against Stanford, heavy left-handed hitters, and know he's going to do great. Just need to get into the middle of the fight and get that first one out of the way, and I feel like he's just going to have a really, really good day for us today.
Nebraska roots run deep, where tradition and community thrive. Discover the stories behind our state's rich heritage at imnebraskacorn.com. Our pitching preview brought to you by Nebraska Corn. Huskers have taken the field. 3-0 Nebraska taking on 1-2 Stanford. As we get ready to get this one underway once again, welcome in Ben McLaughlin.
All right, thank you, Nick. Huskers have taken the field in their red tops, white pants, white script Nebraska across the chest, white numerals on the back, red piping down the leg. High Red Sox, red hats, white and on the front. Stanford in their road grays. That Cardinal script Stanford across the front. And they've got their Cardinal lids, that iconic tree logo stamped on the front. Novacek going through his warm-up tosses. And the defense behind him, Will Jeske in left. Mac Moyer makes his first Husker start in center field. Butenbach in right. Overbeek at the hot corner. Carey manning the shortstop position. Buck at second. Sanderson at first. And Jeter Worthley back behind home plate. Umpires for this one, calling our balls and strikes. Clint Fagan. Chris Gonzalez will be at first. David Buck, your second base umpire. And Mike Lusky controlling things down that third base line. The 3-0 Huskers and the 1-2 Stanford Cardinal. Going to get this one underway close to the top of the hour. The 2 o'clock hour back in the central time zone in the great state of Nebraska. Just after 1 here in the desert. It is 71 degrees. Wind out of the south at 10 miles an hour. Gusts up to 19. Windiest day we've had so far here in Arizona. And that comes almost right field foul pole to left field foul pole, almost in from right center. And our Cornerstone Bank Time and Temp Report brought to you by Cornerstone Bank, committed to providing you game-changing solutions for your financial needs. Bank on a solid foundation. Cornerstone Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Colin Novacek getting the start today for the Cornhuskers. A year ago, as a freshman, he logged 9 innings of work, allowed 13 hits, 8 runs, 7 earned. He walked 7 and struck out 10. Coaches very high on the offseason of Colin Novacek. As Nick told you, Elkhorn North High School product. Tatum Marsh, the right fielder for Stanford, has stepped in, and we're ready for baseball. Novacek winds and fires the first pitch of the game, and it's on the inside corner, a called strike, 0-1. Settle in for some Cornhusker baseball here on a Monday. Glad you've joined us here on the Huskers Radio Network. The 0-1 pitch. Off speed, that's hit well into right center field. Long run for Moyer. He lays out and can't make the catch. It's going to roll all the way to the wall. Marsh with good speed, not stopping at 2. He's going to try all the way for third. The throw from Buck is late. It's a leadoff triple for Stanford off Novacek. And this potent Cardinal offense wasting no time getting started here today. This team can flat hit. Looking at some of the statistics and returnees they have in their lineup, it didn't take long to find out where the strength of this team lies. Marsh, a year ago, a .377 hitter, freshman All-American. He starts the game with a triple. Now Charlie Bates, the shortstop, left-on-left matchup. He swings at the first pitch. It's a slow tapper to the right side. Tough play. Buck fields with the glove. Underhands the first is late. It's an infield hit. Stanford takes a 1-0 lead. Just a swinging bunt into the Bermuda Triangle of Novacek, Sanderson, and Buck. And you saw the speed of Charlie Bates, and this is a good start for Stanford. Novacek dealing with some early adversity after a ringing triple to the right center field gap and a swinging bunt base hit. And now Jimmy Nadai, the second baseman. Nadai from Sydney, Australia. He is a really good defender. Gold Glove finalist from last year. He batted a flat 300 as well. So this is a quality stick in there for Stanford. Novacek's first pitch just misses outside, ball one. So a triple and a swinging bunt hit. And Stanford has the game's first run on 2 hits. Novacek looking for his first out. Move over to first. Chases back Charlie Bates. Really been impressed with the job Nebraska's pitching staff has done to this point, limiting the extra base hit. But Marsh able to plug the gap in right center, and this is another one that's down the left field line. That one's just inside the line. That's fair. And that's going to be more extra bases for Stanford. Bates stops at third. This is a double from Nadai. And the Cardinal are flying early in this one.
And for Colin Novacek right now, I mean, he's around the plate. That's not been the problem. It's location, but you also have the Stanford offense. It's been stymied a little bit the last couple of days, and we talked about this in the pregame, Ben. There's just so much talent 1 through 9 in this lineup that you knew they had this type of capability. Rob Childers going to come out and talk with his sophomore lefty here, but you don't look at these last 3 games for Stanford and let it fool you, where their offensive numbers, at least in those 3 games, aren't gaudy. But you got to go back, as you pointed out, the sophomores and a lot of these guys that were part of this team a year ago, they can crack the bat a lot, and they're wasting no time doing so.
Yeah, you look at the averages from last year of the guys that we've saw, right? Marsh at 377, Nadai at 300, Bates pushing 300, guy on deck in Sasaki with just thunderous power at 270. This is an offense that you almost felt like it was a matter of time. You hoped it had waited one more day to get going. But they're up swinging early and often on Novacek, already leading 1-0. Runners at second and third, still nobody out in the top of the first. So work to do for Colin to limit the damage. Brady Reynolds is the hitter. He's a lefty. Designated hitter. Standing tall, open stance from the left side. Second and third, nobody out. First pitch, that one's golfed in the air, left side, giving it a look over Beak. He's at the railing and runs out of room. Ball hops into the 4th row. Reynolds off to a good start here this year. 4 hits and 12 at-bats with an RBI. Husker infield playing back. They'll surrender a run for an out. There's a late swing and a miss. So just a defensive swing. Ball was in the mitt of Worthley before Reynolds decided to offer, and he's ahead. 0-2. It was a good slider there from Novacek. Needless to say, a strikeout would be big. Colin works from the stretch. Here's the pitch. Another slider cued right out in front of the plate. It's picked up in the left-handed batter's box by Worthley, so it's a foul ball. He went right back to the slider, and Reynolds just got a piece of it. What does Colin want to dial up here? Here's the pitch. That one's looped into shallow right. That's going to drop in for a hit. 1 run's going to score. They'll hold the second runner up. The ball's cut off by Sanderson. It's 2-0. Stanford. That was not hit hard at all. They went back to the slider, and it hit off the end cap of the bat and just floated over the head of Buck in front of Butenbach. 4 straight hits for Stanford to start this one. And now you have to deal with Sasaki. Sasaki from Japan. He was a story in college baseball a year ago coming over here. From Hanamaki, Iwate, Japan. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Big left-handed stick, takes a first pitch, strike at the knees, 0-1. Sasaki put on a display in batting practice. 6'1", 270. And he's got runners at the corners and nobody out in the top of the first. Here's the pitch. Novacek lost his footing and the pitch was down into the dirt. It's 1-1. Long way to go in this one, but this is not the start Nebraska was looking for. 2-0. Cardinal. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Novacek's pitch. It's fouled off to the left and out of play. It's made it into the press box over there. And the count 1-2. So Novacek's gotten ahead of the last two. Made a pretty good pitch to Reynolds, but he was able to golf one into the air for a base hit into right field. We'll see what he does here to Sasaki. The pitch. High with a fastball. 2-2. Tucker Timmerman is starting to stretch out and get loose in a hurry down that left field line for the Huskers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 on, nobody out. The pitch. Fastball just missed the inside corner. That was a close pitch. Obviously, the Husker crowd here wanted that one. But now it's full on Sasaki. And J.J. Moran, the leading hitter through 3 games for Stanford, waiting on deck. Novacek throws to first, chases back the base runner Reynolds. Pretty big pitch here early in the game for Novacek. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. High and tight. Missed barely. Rob Childress not happy about it, and that's a walk. He's asking the home plate umpire where that one missed, and now the bases are loaded. And J.J. Moran coming to the plate. As I just told you, Moran off to a pretty good start this year. 5 hits and 12 at-bats for Moran. And Stanford has them loaded. Pitt coming to second, back behind Reynolds. No tag applied from Buck. Well, the name of the game right now is limit the damage. Already with 2 in. The pitch. That's hit well into right center field. Moyer backing up into his left, still backing up, really carrying almost in front of the track. 1 run's going to score. The runner from second, Reynolds, will tag. It's a sac fly for Moran to make it 3-0 Stanford. Boy, that ball just kept carrying out to right center field. Novacek gets his first out.
Yeah, the wind would actually tell you a different story based on where we're seeing the flags going a little bit more right to left, and that thing just continued to tail, and there's some solid barrel action right now for Stanford.
Sac fly gets Ethan Hott to the plate. He swings at the first pitch fastball north of the letters, 0-1. Hott, 2 hits and 8 at-bats with a triple. He had a big season last year as well. Got at .342 last season. The 0-1. Hunting another fastball that was elevated. It's 0-2. Hott second on the team in batting average last year. Novacek way ahead at 0-2. Here's the pitch. Slider in the dirt. It's a good sequencing and a good block by Jeter Worthley. Sasaki does not run well. He stayed at first. 3-0 Cardinal, just underway in the top of the first. Novacek trying to limit the damage. Here's the pitch. Fastball up. It's 2-2. Timmerman feverishly working in that left field bullpen. Here's the 2-2. Popped over our heads, off to our right. Boy, Cardinal are just not making it easy on Novacek here in the first. Collin comes set, the pitch. Hit him. I'm not sure Nebraska can let this go much longer.
Well, Ben, there's an example of how valuable it can be when you can spoil a couple of pitches there, especially Colin Novacek, that sense of urgency to just try to get another out. And you start wasting some of those pitches there if you're a hitter, and you tend to maybe overdo it a bit. And that's clearly what Colin Novacek did. Just got one, let it loose a little bit, and got away from him.
And he got a little bit of a break as a violation on Stoll. So an 0-1 count, the pitch, high 1-1. So was not ready to hit. So Novacek given a free strike. Misses with his first one here. It's 1-1. Bases loaded. Still only one out. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Stole the catcher for Stanford. Novacek again, 2 strikes on a hitter. The pitch. Sharply hit, fair down the left field line. 1 run scores. Here comes Sasaki around third. 2 more are going to score. It's another extra base hit. And Stanford is all over Nebraska in the top of the first. It's a 5-0 Stanford lead. And the 9th man in the order, Brock Sell, coming to bat. Rob Childress on the walkie-talkie down to the bullpen. And before the Huskers even grab a bat, they're in big trouble on getaway day. Runners at second and third, still only one out. Here's the pitch. Low, ball 1.
But you got to think also what this does for a freshman with a lot of potential for Brooke Kettleson waiting, and he's going to have quite the cushion when he throws his first pitch in this game.
Here's the pitch. That's a strike, 1-1. 5 runs on 5 hits, and they're still moving. 2 more in scoring position, and still only one out. The 1-1. Chewed him up. Slow roller to second. Buck picks it up, throws to first. Run scores. 2 outs, but a 6-0 Stanford lead. A triple and 2 doubles down the left field line past Overbeek. And then you've had 2 soft singles after that with a swinging bunt and a bloop shot to right. But the walk and the hit by pitch. And another pitch clock violation on a Stanford hitter. And now some palms up from the first base dugout, wondering what's going on. David Esker with some questions for the home plate umpire. So another 0-1 count for Novacek. Back to the leadoff man in Marsh. They've batted around on Novacek in the first. This one misses outside. It's 1-1.
The umpiring crews this entire weekend have been all over the clock.
Colin ready for the 1-1. That one's drilled into center field. Moyer backing up. He's in front of the warning track and makes the catch and mercifully ends the top of the first inning. But Stanford has a stranglehold after a 6-run, 5-hit first inning. They leave a runner. And after a half inning, Cardinals 6, Nebraska nothing, as they come to bat in the bottom of the first. This is the Huskers Radio Network.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
To be a part of Nebraska medicine.
Hi, welcome.
Is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska Medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors that open doors.
How are you?
To growth and opportunity for each other and for our community.
That went really well.
For those who know that the academic experience,
You know what? I agree.
the life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere else. And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Join us at nebraskamed.com/careers. Nebraska Medicine. Together, extraordinary.
Hands on the wheel, head in the game. The driver has one job, to drive. This message from the NDOT Highway Safety Office. So Nebraska, which has been living well in 3 games leading up to this one against Stanford. And the Cardinal really introducing themselves in a very loud way in the top of the first as they take a commanding 6-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first. And Nebraska trying to chip away here.
Yeah, the offense sure has their hands full, and they haven't even had a look at this very talented, tall, left-handed pitcher for Stanford. Brock Kettleson, the 6'4", 206-pound freshman from Scotts Valley, California. Big-time two-way prospect, making his first college appearance. And I'm sure he would have signed on the dotted line before the game for 6 runs of support before he throws a pitch. But this game's not over. I mean, this offense has proven that it can hang. They've strung together some big innings. In fact, for the first time, Nick, really had the script flipped on them, right, with the offensive pressure that they were faced with. So we'll see how they respond. It'll be Worthley, Buck, and Sanderson. Top 3 in the order for the Huskers against Kettleson. Worthley had the night off yesterday, back in the lineup today. Takes the first pitch, strike at the knees, 0-1. Jeter, a big opening day effort. Had a couple of hits, re-spaced 4 times. The 0-1. Shot off to the right, not a play. So Kettleson coming in, filling up the strike zone early. That's exactly what David Esker, head coach for Stanford, wants to see. Worthley 2 for 9 in the opening weekend with a double. The pitch bounced in front of the plate, 1-2. And you always wonder, here's the thing, is Stanford's played in 3 close games. So you wonder where their bullpen's at after the first 3 games. It would behoove Nebraska to make Kettleson work early. The 1-2. That's floated in the air to center. Starting in now, backpedaling, still backpedaling is hot to make the catch. That was not something you'd see on an instructional video on how to handle a fly ball, but he's able to put it away. The ball must be carrying out there to that part of the field. I've seen a couple of those. Well-struck ball by Worthley. Nothing to be hanging your head about with that swing. And here's Jet Buck. Kettleson's first one to Jet. Swung through for a strike, 0-1. Buck hitting .462 through the first 3 games. 6 hits and 13 at-bats. The pitch. Late on a heater, 0-2. Kettleson working with good rhythm, brings it home. That one's hit sharply. That's a fair ball down the left field line. And that is going to ricochet off the wall, be extra bases for Buck. He's at second, and he'll coast in there with a stand-up 1-out double. Good piece of 2-strike hitting for Jet Buck, just like a couple of the Stanford hits at the top of the first inning, tucked just inside that line past the diving third baseman. And we'll see if the Huskers can get one back here in the first.
Yeah, nothing fancy. In fact, that ball just a little late break. Made its way, obviously, more plate than Kettleson would have wanted. But Jet Buck, just a nice, short, compact swing and able to yank it right down the third baseline.
Here's Sanderson. Boy, what a weekend he's had. He has been absolutely dynamic. Takes first pitch inside, ball 1. Left-on-left matchup for him. Sanderson, 7 for 11. With 2 doubles and 4 walks, an on-base percentage of .733 through his first 3 games. Here's the pitch. Sandy takes low, 2-0. And it's one thing to be hitting, but it's another thing to be patient enough to take your walks. He's got an OPS of 1,500 right now. Here's the 2-0. High 3-0. Overbeek anxiously awaiting his turn on deck. Well, it would be really big if Nebraska could find a way to get a run or two back here in the first and get involved after the 6-run Stanford first. The 3-0. Called strike, 3-1. Big gap where Sandy loves to hit in left center if he wants to go that way. Kettleson set, the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So the Huskers have 2 on and 1 out. And if nothing else, Nick, trying to find some silver linings here. You're at least making Kettleson throw some pitches in the first.
Yeah, seeing some pitches that first trip through the order right now. And again, for Nebraska, we talked so much this weekend about the 2-out hitting, but now with this deficit, obviously, and every coach in that dugout is going to say we're not looking to get it all back right now, but you got to let Stanford know you're going to put pressure on them, and this is one of those moments that you can really show that.
Yeah, I don't want to lay down after a half inning. Here's Overbeek. He's had a big weekend. Kettleson's pitch. Overbeek fouls one a mile high just off to our right. Might hear it hit the roof. Nope, just shy of it. 0-1. Overbeek, 6 hits and 12 at-bats, 3 doubles. 7 RBIs for Overbeek. The first 3 contests. Buck's out at second, Sanderson at first. Here's the pitch. Overbeek way out in front of that off speed 0-2. He was badly fooled there. He's going to have to do some work here with 2 strikes. Kettleson comes set. The 0-2. In the dirt. Backhanded pick by Stoll, the catcher. And 1-2. I wouldn't be playing around too much with that pitch clock either. Yeah. Make sure you're ready to get in the box and hit. Tall freshman lefty comes set. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Overbeek is out, not handled by the catcher, but first base is occupied. That's a big second out for Stanford, and now it's up to Carey.
There's an impressive pitch sequence, really highlighted by that strike 2 changeup that got Beek out on his front side. That might have been the best pitch we've seen from Kettleson. He's popping at about 94, but that changeup at about 77, and that had some dive to it.
And I think we have a violation on Carey here. Yeah, we're not playing around with the in-between batters. That needs to be a message, I think, to both dugouts. You better be ready to hit in between plate appearances. So it's 0-1 on Carey. Kettleson set. The 0-1. Carey swings, and it's a mile-high pop-up into left. Left fielder started back, Sell now coming in and makes the catch to end the inning. So the Huskers get a couple runners in the first, but can't do anything with them. No runs, a hit, no errors. They leave 2. So after 1 inning, it's Stanford 6 and Nebraska nothing. This is Big Red Baseball.
It's baseball season in Nebraska, and whether you're headed to the ballpark or watching from your couch, you deserve a home that feels like a win. John Henry's keeps you comfortable with expert heating and cooling, plus trusted plumbing and electrical service. From tune-ups to full replacements, we make it easy, fast, and done right the first time. Proud to be an official partner of Husker Baseball. Make the easy call to John Henry's today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Venue at Home is Lincoln's premier meal prep service. Prepared in-house by our chefs, ready for you to heat and eat. Build your own package from our wide selection of items, including healthy bowls, saucy pastas, fresh salads, starters, sides, desserts, and more. Subscribe and join our rewards program to get discounts on every order. Get your order delivered in Lincoln and surrounding towns, or pick it up at our Venue at Home storefront. Order today at our brand new website, venueathome.net. That's venueathome.net.
For 85 years, Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Nebraska has supported the passion and pride of Husker baseball. Blue believes in the Big Red, and Blue believes in you. Don't forget to stick around in our post-game coverage. We'll have our Blue Cross Blue Shield RBI of the game. New pitcher in for Nebraska, and that will be junior righty Tucker Timmerman. Tuck has had some action albeit limited action this weekend. He threw on Friday night in Nebraska's victory over UConn. And Tuck just going 2/3 in that appearance, his first of 2026. Did give up one hit. He didn't strike out or walk a hitter. And Tucker Timmerman will come in with a cushy Stanford lead, 6-0 here in the top of the second.
Huskers with their hands full the rest of today. But a little bit of pressure on the Stanford starter in the first, but some good pitching to get him out of trouble from Kettleson. So Tucker will have 2, 3, and 4 in the Stanford lineup. Good news for Nebraska is they do feel like they have quite a bit left in their bullpen today. Fourth game of an opening weekend. Still some guys we haven't seen yet this year. So Timmerman into the game to try and slow down this Stanford offense. The first 3 guys he'll see are 3 guys with hits in the first inning. Charlie Bates had the swinging bunt RBI hit his first time up. Takes first pitch fastball low, 1-0. So Tucker will, as long as he's effective, go as long as he can here today. The 1-0. That's hit sharp. Cardinal picking right up where they left off in the first. Solid base hit through the right side from Bates. Already the 6th Stanford hit. And Nadai, who had one of the 2 doubles in the first, coming to the plate.
Well, Bates not to be outdone. He had the infield base hit back in the first. This one leaving very little doubt through the right side.
Right on right matchup for Tuck. The pitch. Slider down, 1-0. Huskers just need something good to happen. Timmerman set. And the pitch. Another slider away, 2-0.
Well, Ben, you go back to Novacek. It wasn't a problem of falling behind Stanford hitters. He was establishing the strike zone early, but just got over the plate too much.
The next one home is low, 3-0. So Tucker has fallen behind. Yeah, I mean, he had at least 3 hitters down 0-2 in the count and just couldn't put them away. Even the hit by pitch came on a 3-2 where he was ahead in the count 0-2. Timmerman's pitch is a called strike. That was a gimme. I think it was a low. But he gets the call, and it's 3-1 on Nadai. See if Tucker can battle through the AB here. The pitch. Runner goes. Hit and run, and it's fouled off to the right and out of play. So Bates will head back to first. Tucker's worked it full. 6-0 Stanford. We play in just the second inning. Tucker ready. The 3-2. Again, the runner goes. It's hit to short. Carey still throws to second for 1. Buck's relay throws in plenty of time for a double play. So the sinker that Timmerman throws able to induce a ground ball. That was impressive because, as I mentioned, Bates was off with the pitch. And there you see the arm strength of Jet Buck. He was kind of lunging away from first base and just threw a strike to Sanderson. And a big double play turn there for the Huskers.
Yeah, I'll echo that. And also Dylan Carey, that one shot up on him right by just above the belt. That's not easy to get cleanly out and start that sequence.
There's a slider that snaps in there from Timmerman. 0-1 on Brady Reynolds. Reynolds had maybe the inning turning at bat in the first as this pitch missed outside. 1-1. Novacek was ahead. At that point, it was only 1-0 with a runner at first, and he was ahead 0-2, and he just had a floating single off the ended cap of the bat that dropped. And This one is hit a mile in the air to right center field. Butenbach coming in on it and makes the catch for out number 3. Finished the thought on Reynolds. Then right after that is when it started to snowball on Novacek. But a good job from Timmerman here in the second after the leadoff single to get a double play and a weak fly out to right. Stanford's done in the second. No runs, a hit, no errors, nobody left. Through an inning and a half here at Salt River. It's the Cardinal 6 and the Huskers nothing on the Huskers Radio Network.
It's not a job. I don't start my day by logging in or end my shift by punching out. I don't have a corner office, but I do have a seat with a view. I get to see every sunrise and every sunset. And while I may technically be my own boss, I fully accept that I am not in charge. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
RE/MAX is the official real estate partner of Nebraska Athletics, and we understand there's a number for everything: square footage, down payment, interest rates. But how do you measure the trust you have in your agent? For a RE/MAX agent, it's not about numbers on a contract. It's being a trusted RE/MAX agent. That means you'll get honest advice, expert guidance, and someone who's committed to your success. Because while numbers count, trust is what truly matters. RE/MAX, the official real estate partner of Nebraska Athletics. Each office independently owned and operated.
At EEKS, our mission is to provide products and services to help our customers work more efficiently and effectively. For all of your office needs, think EEKS. Visit EEKS.com. So good defensive work by Nebraska. Able to get a 6-4-3 double play with the sinker from Tucker Timmerman. And Nebraska leaves the Cardinal off the scoreboard in the second. They go back to work here, trailing by 6 here in the bottom of the second.
See if they can get something going here on Kettleson. Cole Kitchens will lead off, designated hitter. It's had a productive weekend for the Big Red. First pitch comes in low, 1-0. Boy, look at this outfield alignment on Kitchens. The left fielder Sell is about 20 feet from the line. The center fielder is on the right side of second base. This pitch is sprayed off to the right and out of play. I don't know where they're getting their spray chart data, but if you're pulling it from 2026, I think 70% of Kitchens' balls off the bat have been to right field. Here comes the 1-1. That's sprayed off to the right and out of play. So Kitchens down in the count, 1-2. Kettleson doing a nice job working ahead. Kitchens hitting .357, 5 hits, 14 trips with a double. The 1-2 on its way. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 6-0 Stanford. Bottom of the second. Long way to go in this one. The 2-2. That's hit into right. That's twisting foul toward the bullpen. It's going to make it over to the party area. Count still 2-2 on Kitchens. And now a big pull side shift put on Cole on the infield. Here's the 2-2. Another one shot into the Stanford dugout. Heads up, boys. Got all netting. Everybody's all right. .94 on that fastball from Kettleson. He's got some life on that heater. Here's the pitch. Just got a piece of it back to the backstop. He reached down. That pitch was quite a bit outside. He was able to get a piece of it to stay alive. Good at bat going here from number 12. Well, it's not hard to see what the scouts saw in Kettleson. He's a two-way guy with an outfielder and obviously on the mound as well. The 2-2. High, 3-2. I mean, a 6'4" frame as a freshman throwing 94. Don't really need to be a genius to like what you see there. The 3-2 on its way. Low ball 4. What an at bat from Cole Kitchens and some applause from his teammates in that third base dugout drawing the leadoff walk, and he earned that one.
Get a notch on the grit chart there, and you go back to Kettleson of not only his frame on the mound, but then it also has to be told the athleticism, being a two-way player as well. It's one of those exceptional athletes that Stanford has.
Butenbach stands in, waves at a first pitch slider in the dirt, 0-1. Max was fooled on that one. Couldn't help himself. It's 0-1. Butenbach, 3 hits on the weekend with a double. Kettleson's pitch. Fouled one into the mitt. He was way late on that fastball. So Kettleson has Butenbach in knots here. Way ahead of him at 0-2. The pitch. Slider, he laid off of it. Good idea from Kettleson. See if Max would get himself out. And he was able to hold up. It's 1-2. Short lead from Kitchens at first. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. That was a tough AB for Max. Kettleson had that dialed up with the sequence. It all started with that first pitch slider. Sometimes you tip your cap, the other guy won, and that was the case there in that at bat. Now Jeski's turn. What a night he had last night. Another pull side shift put on. Pitch. Jeski takes a fastball at the knees, 0-1. 3 infielders to the left of second base, and with Kitchens being held on, Jeski has the whole right side available. The pitch. Lost the slider way up there, 1-1. Six-run Stanford first has Nebraska trying to climb out of this hole. The 1-1. Slider snaps in there, 1-2.
It's gone fastball, slider here on Jeski. I'd expect that fastball trying to run in. Possibly here.
Kettleson comes set. The pitch. Just got a piece of the fastball. You called it. Able to get it back to the backstop.
And you can see, Ben, you're going to see from most lefties, especially that have that velo, that tail away from those right-handed hitters. And that was evident with Max, for sure.
The 1-2. Jeski swings and rolls one near the Husker dugout. Stays alive. We'll get to see one more pitch.
So the slider, the changeup that he's shown on occasion, and that fastball has been very effective.
Kettleson holds at the belt. The next one to Jeski. Misses outside. There was the change. 2-2. Yeah, bat extended. One more pitch for Jeski. You'd at least like to see some competitive at-bats for the Husker offense. The 2-2. Slider hit well into left field. Jeski gets a piece of that one. Sell backing up to the track, to the wall, and he makes the catch. Kitchens back to first. The ballpark just held it. Jeski almost got all of that one. But it's allowed out number 2. That's a good at-bat from 13. And some high fives for Jeski as he gets into the dugout. That nearly put a small dent into that Stanford lead.
Really the one area of the ballpark right now, Ben, that's not carried as much.
Now Mac Moyer with a runner at first and 2 outs. First pitch to Mac. He hits a base hit into right field. Wasting no time jumping on that first pitch, and the Huskers with a 2-out knock. Mac Moyer's first Husker start. And he gets a base hit into right field. Now back to the top for Jeter Worthley.
2 hits now for Mac Moyer in his young career. Got a pinch hit single or defensive late game change last night.
First pitch to Worthley. Jeter takes just a touch high, 1-0. Kettleson a slight tilt of the head, thinking that was a strike. Kitchens doesn't run well at second, but Moyer does at first. A gapper could be 2 runs. The 1-0. Slider in, 2-0. So again, some extension of Kettleson, and there goes some Stanford bodies getting ready to head to the bullpen. He's going to be over 40 pitches in this at-bat. The pitch. Worthley takes a strike at the knees. That was nicely located. It's 2-1. So Stanford not expecting Kettleson to be long for this game. 2 balls and a strike. Now a pick comes to second. Kitchens basically laying on top of the bag. No problem getting back. Stanford 6, Nebraska nothing. Huskers trying to cut into the lead. For the second inning in a row, they have 2 on base. Here's the 2-1. Worthley takes up 3-1. If Jeter can reach, Jet Buck could get a crack, who doubled his first time off of Kettleson. Doesn't seem like a super comfy 6-0 lead for Stanford. Here's the 3-1. Worthley's good cut at it, fouls it off to the right and out of play.
Yeah, and I think that's the purpose right now for Nebraska is you've got to have that presence in this game. That, one base hit here or there could really cut into that lead.
Both runners will be off with the pitch. Kettleson ready for the 3-2. Here it is. And hit him. Wasn't sure the umpire was going to award first base. Jeter shrugging that left elbow as he trots to first. And I think David Esker is going to have the same conversation that I just relayed, wondering with Clint Fagan, the home plate umpire, did he lean into that one? No replay available this weekend. There was 3 balls on Jeter, and now the umpires are going to gather.
It was, without question, the pitch was inside. But was there a movement on Jeter Worthley's part to draw contact? That's what's in their conversation.
There didn't need to be.
No, there really didn't. That was ball 4. There's no question.
Got another lefty for Stanford working in the bullpen. Just starting to throw. As the umpires gather, boy, this would just be a momentum shifter if they, for some reason, this is a lengthy conversation, which I don't love. This would be a big dagger to the Huskers early if they don't stick with the call on the field. Yeah, they're going to award first base to Worthley, thankfully. And pitching coach coming out for Stanford. Austin Steves is the lefty warming for the Cardinal. Another 6-foot left-hander. But the Huskers have the bases loaded. And if Buck could replicate what he did in the first inning, we'd have a new game. 45 pitches for Kettleson. So, Nick, although Nebraska hasn't scored a run, they've been hard to get out in the box.
Yeah, they've extended at bats. Case did that, obviously, when he walked back in the first. And you saw an outstanding AB by Cole Kitchen, spoiling a couple pitches before he was walked. And then Jeter Worthley there, running it full. I mean, this serves obviously 2 purposes here. You're getting into that pitch count, but you're getting a chance, especially now the second time through, to maybe get a better feel of where he's attacking with that fastball, when he wants to come with the changeup and the slider. And again, going back to, you're down 6-0. You've got bags full with 2 away, likely scoring 2 with just something through the infield.
Jet Buck stands in with the bases loaded. Here's the first pitch. Buck swings and pops one in the air to the right side. Long run for the right fielder, Marsh. He can't get it. Lands in foul territory. In play, but just couldn't quite get there in time, and it's 0-1 on Buck. All the runners retreat back.
But that's the pressure that you've got to apply on Stanford here. Even just get 1 in at some point. You just cannot allow any type of momentum to go right back to that first base dugout.
Kettleson goes from the windup. The base is loaded and an 0-1 count on the Huskers' second baseman. Here's the pitch. Buck takes off the plate, 1-1. Stanford very aggressive with their defensive alignment on the infield to the pull side. They've done so with about every Husker hitter. Ball and a strike on Buck. Here's the pitch. Jet swings and bounces one right back to Kettleson, who athletically fields it off the back of the mound and underhands for the out. And that ends the Husker threat. That's disappointing. And a nice play on the mound from Kettleson. No runs for the Huskers on one hit. No errors, and they leave the bases loaded. The Huskers have strained it 5 through 2 innings and trail 6-0 as we go to the third. This is Big Red Baseball.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists, shop the sales, and get fuel savers. Talk about convenience. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Nebraska Baseball brought to you in part by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit buyfordnow.com for all your truck, SUV, and electric vehicle needs. Huskers held off the board, put a lot of pressure on, but the game's still stuck in a 6-0 deficit with Stanford on top as we reach the top of the third. And for us is Nick Hanley.
All right, thank you, Ben. It'll be Rentaro Sasaki to lead it away for the Cardinal here at the top of the third. 5-6-7 for Stanford. Rentaro Sasaki, going to hear his name through a lot of the college baseball and pro circles in the coming years. Talked about what he did last year. Ben gave you those numbers, but how about 140 career home runs in the high school level baseball? That's a lot. First pitch from Timmerman is outside with that slider. Sasaki entered the game, did have a double and a home run. He walked and scored back in the first. Off speed in there, strike one. Gave you the size, big left-handed hitter. We were watching him during BP. I mean, that's a fluid, powerful swing. 1-1 offering. He turns on this one down the right field line. That's going to be extra bases, rounding first. There's Butenbach chasing it down in the corner. He'll hold up at second, so a leadoff double for Sasaki, his second of the season. Just as indicating that swing, it is nice and textbook with a lot of pop behind it at 270 pounds. This will bring up J.J. Moran. Moran drove in a run on a sacrifice fly back in the first. He's got 3 RBI on the season. Came in as the hottest hitter in the weekend for the Cardinal. 5 for 12, 417. And he will hit with a runner in scoring position. Nobody out here in the top of the third. This is away of the sinker, 1-0.
Yeah, if you needed the statistics to back up what you're saying about Sasaki, that was 117 off the bat. Yeah, when he barrels one up, look out. Timmerman out of the stretch. The 1-0 offering. Just got a piece of that back to the net. J.J. Moran. Sophomore, and again, we're going to tell you a lot about these sophomores. It's very reminiscent to the UCLA team a year ago. A freshman team that took their lumps in 24, but really came on in 25. 1-1 pitch, and that one is shot into right center field. This is going to be extra bases as that bounces up against the wall. Sasaki coming around to score. He'll do so easily. It's an RBI double off the bat of J.J. Moran. It's now 7-0 in favor of the Cardinal.
So a couple of hard hit balls on the right side of the outfield as Stanford extending that lead. And we told you in the pregame, this offense, even though their numbers coming into this game, going back to their season opener on Friday night, showing it, you had to really dig back to what the returning core of this lineup did a year ago. This is not all that surprising with the offensive attack they've been on today. And there's a little bloop shot into center field. Mac Moyer running it down in left center. And on the tag, we're going to have a throw and a play at third base, and just gets under the tag. Aggressive base running there by J.J. Moran. The throw just a little bit off, brought Overbeek more to his right. If that's on the bag, Moran is toast.
Huskers wanted Jeter Worthley wants an appeal to second.
Yeah, he's definitely communicating with Dylan Carey.
I don't know that he's going to win that battle, so the infield's going to come in.
So another Stanford run 90 feet away with one out here for Ethan Hott as he pokes this one foul the other way against the net. Ethan Hott was hit by a pitch in the first. 2 for 8 on the season. He's got a triple and 3 RBI. Correction, Nolan Stoll, that is. This one misses it. Nope, they got him. Came inside and got Nolan Stoll. So runners are now at the corners. That'll bring up Brock Sell, the left fielder. 9-hole hitter for Stanford. Nebraska had the infield in, try to choke off that run. Now we'll try to play for the double play with one out. 1 run already across. Stanford looking for more at the corners here at the top of the third. First pitch to Sell. Misses away with the sinker. Brock Sell, 2 hits on the season, a double and 2 ribbies entering the game. Drove in a run, grounded out to second, back in the first. Moran from third, Stoll from first. It's a swing and a miss on the off speed. 1 ball, 1 strike on Brock Sell. Stockton, California, freshman in this lineup. Timmerman set at the belt. There's a slider, and that one is popped the other way, out of play. Reaches the roof here at Salt River Fields. A overcast day. Temperature more than comfortable, but not a lot of sunshine here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Timmerman kicks and fires. Misses low and out. Now 2-2.
Braxton Stewart, left-hander. Redshirt sophomore working behind Timmerman.
Tuck dangles that right arm, now gets his sign. Set at the letters. The 2-2. That one's turned on through the right side, and that's going to be extra bases as Moran will score easily. Coming around first to third is Soul, and he is in there safely with a double for Brock Sell.
My goodness, Nick, they are just hammering baseballs right now. Like line drive after line drive after line drive.
Well, that's now 3 doubles in this inning alone. And the extra base hits continue to come for Stanford. It's not death by 1,000 cuts. It's death by a lot of slug here. Infield drawn in once again with runners at second and third. And 1 out here in the top of the third. There's a swing into the mitt of Jeter Worthley, 0-1. Tatum Marsh, the leadoff hitter, who has one of those extra base hits, led the game off with a triple. The 0-1 just got a piece of that one. 0-2 here on Marsh.
This does not look like an offense that has struggled through the first 3 games.
They've taken their frustrations out. And I was with you. I was hoping they'd maybe wait till their their Cal State series this weekend. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one is spoiled the other way into the seats. Tatum Marsh entering the game with 3 hits, had a double, so you could add another extra base hit to his numbers so far. Now a triple. Good stop there by Worthley on the buried off speed. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Marsh. Stoll leading away from third, Sell from second. Drawn in infield, with Stanford leading 8-0 here at the top of the third. There's a slow little chopper down the third baseline, going to roll fouls. Overbeek gloves it. So Tatum Marsh battling away. That's been the other thing too, Ben. It's the barrels that Stanford has been able to put on the baseball is one thing, but when they've gotten down in the count, they have really made, between Novacek and now Timmerman, work.
Yeah, there's been 2 strikes on about every other hitter, and Nebraska hasn't gotten a single strikeout yet. That tells you the job they're doing hitting with 2 strikes.
1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 away, top of the third. Runners at second and third on a drawn-in infield. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Got him. Good job of Tucker Timmerman finding that put-away pitch, and now they're 2 away. Infield can return back to normal depth. Charlie Bates, another dangerous hitter. He's 2 for 2 today. RBI single back in the first, and Tucker Timmerman is not going to pitch to him as Rob Childress making his way out, and we're going to have a Nebraska soybean pitching change. A Nebraska farm fact: soy-based biodiesel is good for our air, environment, and Nebraska economy. Look for it when you fill up next.
Want to boost Nebraska?
Radio Network.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Huskers grabbing their third pitcher here early in the game. They're going to go get Braxton Stewart, 6'4", 185-pound redshirt sophomore. He's from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. He began his career at Louisville. He redshirted there in his 1 season as a Cardinal. Then spent 1 season at Iowa Western. He made 11 appearances, pitched 27 in the third innings, and struck out 33. Went 1-1, an ERA of 4.28. So he'll get an opportunity here to try and hold this Stanford offense down and keep the game where it's at. It's 8-0 Cardinal lead after 6 in the first, 2 so far here in the third. So our first look at Stewart here on the mound.
Highly recruited out of high school. Obviously, you don't wind up at Louisville if you're an average prospect, and he was as high as the 33rd overall prospect in the state of North Carolina by perfect game before his freshman year, and making his way out to Louisville, and then over closer to home here, say back in the state of Nebraska, just across the river over at Iowa Western Community College, as Ben told you. 90-92 fastball. He'll possess curveball, slider. Slider's a little bit more of his effective breaking ball. Had a really good summer. This is one of those guys from lefty matchups that they like. And he's another one that you might see him just in a matchup situation. And then you also might have a chance to have an extended role out of the bullpen. So runners at second and third with 2 away. And he will deal here with Charlie Bates, left-handed hitter. Chops this one foul down the first base line. 0-1 to Charlie Bates. Mentioned Bates 2 for 2, RBI single in the first. He's got 6 hits on the season, 6 of 14 now. with 4 runs driven in. Stewart set the letters. Here's the 0-1 offering. Missed outside with the slider 1-1. Charlie Bates, another one of those sophomores in this Cardinal lineup. 1-1 offering, way outside, 2-1. I always like the prospects that we see make their way through that Iowa Western baseball program, too. Of course, we had Luke Broderick as Nebraska's closer, the most recent one. Very successful junior college baseball program over there at Iowa Western and Council Bluffs. Missed away again, this time with a fastball. It's 3-1. You do have an open bag, but you also are now dealing with the heart of the order, although it really hasn't mattered. 1 through 9 have all been on attack for Stanford. Here's the 3-1. And that one is off the plate. So Charlie Bates will head down to first. Bases are loaded once again for Stanford here with 2 away, as Jimmy Nadai will be the hitter. Nadai doubled back in the first, came around and scored, and he hit into that 6-4-3 double play back in the second. For Stewart here, just trying to establish the strike zone. Set at the letters, first offering. Missed just inside with the slider. Huskers trying to keep it here. Already a pretty tall mountain to climb, down 8-0. There's another breaking pitch. That one misses low and inside, and now Jeter Worthley going to go out and talk to Stewart. Was able to get the first pitch he threw to Bates over for a strike, but has lost the strike zone since then.
Yeah, and undoubtedly, I mean, you don't ever want to let the results that precede you be in your mind when you come in and pitch, but he's seen what Stanford's done, and I think he's just being a little too choosy with his locations right now. You got to be careful because you don't want to groove one either.
Right.
Then this thing's almost out of reach.
Yeah, there is plenty of pop in here to make you pay for a mistake, but again, got to get something over for a strike. The base is loaded in 2 away. 2-0 pitch. That one's popped the other way, foul out of play. 2 balls, 1 strike. Here on Jimmy Nadai. Nadai got his 3rd hit of the season with that double back in the first. 3 for 13 on the year. 2-1 pitch. That's low. And now 1 pitch away from bringing in another Stanford run.
Yeah, and Stewie's going to have to fight through this because there's nobody throwing right now. So he's going to have to bear down, start executing some pitches.
Comes set at the letters. The pitch. Outside. Back-to-back walks. That's another Stanford run. Jimmy Nadai will get an RBI. It's now 9-0 in favor of the Cardinal. So all the runners moving 90 feet. Sell now over at third, Bates at second, and Nadai at first. That'll bring up Brady Reynolds. RBI single back in the first, flew out to right. And he turns on this one deep to right field. Over by the warning track, Budenbach has enough room just to make the catch for a very loud third out. More damage done, though, for Stanford. They're able to plate 3 runs, and they do so off 3 hits, no errors, and 3 runners left on base. We head to the bottom of the third. It's Stanford 9, Nebraska 0 on the Huskers Radio Network.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
When First Dakota National Bank created Dakota Mac in 1993, we knew we could offer ag producers something few other banks dared to. Long-term, fixed-rate loans for ag real estate refinances and purchases. Today, we go by Landera, and we provide the same great service and even more banking options to help your operation thrive for generations to come. Banking evolves. Trust endures. Landera, a division of First Dakota National Bank.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
Nick Hanley and Ben McLaughlin with you here at Salt River Fields, the Talking Stick Resort here in Scottsdale, Arizona. Been a tough one thus far for the Huskers, entering 3-0 and flying high after the weekend of baseball, but Stanford has given the Huskers more offense than they could chew off here so far. 9-0 in favor of the Cardinal, and just in the bottom of the third inning. Nebraska will send hitters 3, 4, 5 up. Case Sanderson will lead it off. Brock Kettleson still in for Stanford. Go back to last inning. Stanford had activity in the bullpen. It was Austin Steves who was getting loose, but they're going to roll with Kettleson at least for another inning. First offering to Case. Fastball on the outside corner, strike one. Sanderson walked back in the first. 7 of 11 so far for Case Sanderson with 2 doubles and a ribby. A 1 pitch just off the plate and leave it up at 1-1. Told you about Case's weekend so far. It's not only 7 hits, but it's been to all fields as he turns on this one to right field, but right at Marsh. Hit well, but right to the right fielder for the first out. And that's been the contact that we've really seen all weekend from Case Sanderson. Here's Joshua Overbeek. Struck out back in the first, 0 for 1 today. 6 of 13 on the season. 3 doubles. And an impressive 7 runs driven in for the Husker third baseman. Change up outside, 1-0. Nebraska, after this one, will be a short turnaround. Huskers will head to the Lone Star State over at Globe Life Stadium, home of the Texas Rangers, for a very competitive college baseball weekend. This one is lifted high in the air to left field. Not sure if Sell sees it, and it drops in there. Sell did not see the ball. Not much sun to speak of. It's a tricky sky, and it looked like Sell was camped under it and then all of a sudden had the hands out, and the ball just drops about 10 feet between he and center fielder for Stanford Hot. And so we'll take it. Joshua Overbeek now with 4 doubles. That one not necessarily of the traditional style, but the Huskers with a runner in scoring position. And as I say that, you see a little bit of sun peeking out. But for the most part, it's been overcast skies. First offering to Dylan Carey, change up high and outside. Carey flew out to left field back in the first inning. Another pull side shift put on the senior shortstop as he chops this one foul by the Husker dugout down the third baseline. 1-1 here on DC. Yeah, when Sell was appearing to camp under it, it looked like he was not near the flight of the baseball. And then at the last moment, you saw the hands come out, and then you knew it was trouble. There's a ground ball towards shortstop. Going to get through for a base hit. Overbeek had to wait to make sure that got through. He will now march over to third. Huskers with runners at the corners on a C&I single off the bat of Dylan Carey, his first of the afternoon. Here's Cole Kitchens. Kitchens reached base back in the second on a impressive at-bat that ended up being a free pass down to first. So the Huskers with back-to-back hits, trying to take advantage of a mistake by the left fielder for Stanford. Obviously not an error, but a ball that was begging to be caught. Fastball just catches the inside corner. Kettleson, really like he has the last couple of innings, having to grind through a little traffic here. One out. This one is cued off the end of the bat into the Stanford dugout. 0-2 here on Cole Kitchens. Huskers already have stranded 5 in this game. Going to try to get something going here with activity on the bases. The pitch. This one is hit well into right center field. This one is going to get into the gap as it rolls up off the warning track. Peak scores easily. And now coming around to score. And the throw being cut off is Dylan Carey, Nebraska. Gets 2 runs off the Cole Kitchens 2 RBI double. That is our secure care hit of the game. Quite a hit. And he's going to need a chiropractor. To find a chiropractic physician in Nebraska, visit nebraskachiropractic.org. And for Cole Kitchens, his second double, that's RBIs 5 and 6 on the year. Is Cole Kitchens just getting started here in his Husker career.
How about that piece of 2-strike hitting, Nick? Down in the count 0-2. Nice approach.
Really put a charge into that one. Breaking ball in there for strike 1 on Max Butenbach.
This might be Kettleson's last hitter. The other lefty, Reimers, has been working. Butenbach had a tough AB his first time. See if he can turn it around.
The 0-1 offering, swing and a miss, went after the slider. Really buried that away from the plate. So Butenbach going to have to battle away here. Try to bring in Cole Kitchens in scoring position. Kitchens not necessarily a plus runner. This one is low into the dirt. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Here in the Husker half of the third. 9-2 in favor of Stanford. The pitch, low. Max evens it 2-2. Butenbach coming in with 3 hits, a double and 2 RBI. We've seen some great base running out of 11 as well. Here's the 2-2 offering, swing and a miss. Took something off of that one and got Max out on his front side for the second out here at the bottom of the third. Kettleson had a strikeout number 4 on the afternoon. Here's Will Jeske, who almost got his second home run of the season. His last at bat, a very long fly out to left field. Back in the second. Kettleson steps off the mound. Will Jeske, a 3-for-3 day in the win last night. And this very well could do it, as we're going to have a visit to the mound. Looks like that will be a call to the bullpen. And it'll be another Nebraska soybean pitching change. Another Nebraska farm fact. Nebraska soybean farmers use sustainable practices to leave their land better for the next generation. We'll tell you about the new Cardinal pitcher when we return here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
New pitcher for Stanford is left-handed throwing Austin Steves. He's a 6-foot sophomore from the state of California. Pitched in 7 games last year for Stanford. ERA of just north of 7. 5 strikeouts in his 7 2/3 innings of work. And no appearances for him yet this season. And so Steves comes in with 7 runs of support. And I think up and down start for Kettleson, I would say. I mean, clearly the stuff is there. Huskers managed 5 hits off of him, but they also stranded 5 base runners. So obviously Butenbach had his hands full with him, but for the most part, I think the Huskers held up pretty well against Kettleson. And now, you get to the bullpen in game 4, you're never really sure what's going to happen. The Huskers have cut into the lead a bit, still down a healthy amount of runs here at 9-2, but we'll see if they can continue to chip away.
Yeah, Kettleson didn't necessarily have any stress-free innings. There was always traffic on the base path, and Nebraska, who stranded 5 runners so far in this game. Will Jeske, I told you, his last at bat, nearly got his 2nd home run in as many days. The one part of the ballpark it hasn't really been carrying out to left field, but Jeske, who homered last night in the win against GCU, went 3 for 3, hitting a healthy .625 coming into this contest at 5 for 8, now 5 for 9. He's driven in 2 and got an opportunity to add to that here with Cole Kitchens leading away from second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 3rd. And again, you'd love to just be able to chip away at this thing and remain on the minds of the Cardinal. So Jeske will get his first look at Steves, the lefty. First pitch, high and inside, 1-0. Steves out of Petaluma, California. Gorgeous area, and it's got one of the world-class breweries out there, too. 1-0 pitch, misses inside. I don't know if you could name it, Ben. I'm curious if you could name the brewery I'm talking about in Petaluma, California.
There isn't a planet that exists that I could tell you what brewery that is.
It is Lagunitas. How about that? A little fun fact there. Petaluma, California. 2-0 count. Fastball down the middle. 2-1.
Also doesn't shock me that you know that.
What are you trying to say? I've never been there. I've always wanted to visit there. Maybe I'll ask Austin Steves. It's as nice as I hear. Here's the 2-1. This one's popped foul off to the right. Out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here in the Husker left fielder, Will Jeske. Jeske's another guy, Ben, when we looked at the strength of this team, he's a muscular dude, but I think somehow he put more on this year, too. 2-2 pitch. This one is turned on to left field again, and this one's out of here. A line shot for Will Jeske. Didn't get it in the 2nd inning. And if at first you don't succeed, there you go. An absolute laser to the left field berm. And it's now 9-4. Huskers trying to climb back into this thing.
That was a missile off the bat of Jeske. We'll let Hot Rod get the details on that one. And he wasn't sure he got it all. He almost missed first base. he had to toe tap to make sure he touched the top of the bag. But Nick, this is exactly what you hoped for with Nebraska, is to just throw some kind of counter punch. 104 off the bat for Ski, 381, 19-degree launch angle. That is what we call a wall scraper.
Yes, it was. Thought it was going to had no problem going off the wall, but it just climbed over. First pitch to Mac Moyers outside. Moyer, who singled sharply back in the 2nd. Looks at a breaking ball in there, 1-1. Man, Will Jeske, he was 107 off the bat yesterday in that home run. So these aren't just lazy fly balls finding their way out of the ballpark. There's a shot through the right side, another base hit. for Mac Moyer, aggressively turning. He's going to try to extend it on his way to second. Safe. So now Nebraska starting to feel themselves offensively, and you can hear the crowd here. No surprise there. A lot of support by Husker Nation. And they are back in this game.
That's a shot in the arm play after a home run. Moyer hustled double. Marsh was lazy getting to that ball in right center field, right in front of Moyer, and he's able to leg out a double. Now another knock here. Things have tightened up on the Cardinal.
So back to the top of the order, Jeter Worthley. And Steve's all of a sudden with his hands full since he came into the game. Breaking ball misses low and inside, 1-0.
And another lefty for Stanford getting loose. How many do they got? Good grief.
It's a lefty-heavy roster.
Marsh.
All in all. The 1-0 offering. Outside, 2-0.
So the brother of the right fielder warming up. See if Jeter can come through with a big two-out knock here.
Mac Moyer runs well over there at second in scoring position with 2 away. Huskers having a go at it here in the bottom of the third. This one is flared out to right field, playable for Marsh, waiting for it, and will make the catch for the third out. But Nebraska able to tack on 4 runs in the bottom of the third, highlighted by a 2-run homer from Will Jeske. 4 hits, make that 5 hits altogether in the bottom of the third, with a runner left on base. We played 3 here at Salt River Fields. It's Stanford 9, Nebraska 4. This is Big Red Baseball.
In Nebraska, the good life means mornings that wait for you. A porch swing or a skyline view. Work that matters and time that's yours. Neighbors who wave. Hey there. Stars you can almost touch. A mortgage that makes sense. More space, more time, more life. Nebraska, the good life is calling. Are you ready to answer? Learn more about living in Nebraska at www.thegoodlifeiscalling.com.
To be a part of Nebraska medicine,
hi, welcome,
is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors that open doors.
How are you?
To growth and opportunity for each other and for our community.
That went really well.
For those who know that the academic experience,
You know what? I agree.
the life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere else. And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Join us at nebraskamed.com/careers. Nebraska Medicine. Together, extraordinary.
Nothing goes better with Husker sports than Fairbury. Fairbury premium quality hot dogs deliver the home game experience to your family and friends. Fairbury, the official hot dog of Husker Nation. Huskers going back to the bullpen. This time to get right-handed throwing Auden Pankinen, 6'4" freshman from Hudson, Wisconsin. And I think he would have been top 3 pitchers coming into the year that we're excited to see based on the meetings that we had with the coaches. Pitched to a 1.90 ERA his senior year with 61 strikeouts and just 43 innings of work. And when we asked the coaches about Pankinen, it was a wry smile from pitching coach Rob Childress about what he was able to do from the winter break into the spring. And so we'll see what Pankinen has, and surely has his hands full with this Stanford offense here today. Juices, I think, revved up with Pankinen. He threw about 4 to the backstop here in the warm-up session, and he's got his massive first chore with Sasaki to lead off. It'd be great if the Huskers could find a way to hang a 0.
Yeah, this is just a welcome to college baseball against one of the top hitters, top prospects in college baseball. So Sasaki looks at a first pitch in there for strike 1 on the outside corner. Has had himself a very solid afternoon. Walked and scored, doubled and scored back in the third. The 0-1 offering. This one is turned on ground ball and backhanded well by Jet Buck. Over to first in time. Nice defensive play there by Jet Buck. Ball was sharply hit on the ground off the bat of Sasaki. There's some good glove work there by the Huskers second baseman. That'll allow Pankinen to breathe a little easier there, too. And that's the thing about Adam Pankinen is Rob Childers told us, is just very green, still learning. That development is happening not per outing, but per pitch. This is away. The breaking ball, and good stuff that he's going to possess. But also a very unique story from an athletic standpoint. I'll get to after this pitch. 1-0. Excuse me, swing. Didn't matter. Called strike. 1-1. A junior Olympic downhill skier. How about that? That's got to be a first for a Husker baseball player, at least in my time here, as this one's popped up high into right field, working its way foul, but playable. Butenbach over towards the line, makes the catch in foul territory for the second out. So too quickly recorded for Adam Pankinen.
And he's coming in throwing 95 with some sink. We like that.
That will play. That will definitely play. Yeah, that was just a very interesting conversation we had when we got to Adam Pankinen during our preseason meetings. And so this first pitch to Ethan Hott misses outside, 1-0. When Childress told us that he was a junior Olympic downhill skier, had to do a double take. Comes right back inside with a fastball there for strike one. 1-1 here on Ethan Hott. But a solid frame. You can tell why they're excited. There's a lot to work with there. 1-1 pitch. Just missed outside.
Well, and the Huskers need somebody to make some outs starting to disappear, because there's still quite a ways to go in this game.
He's got some good sink on the fastball. Almost got that. They're going to peel down to first, and they will say that Hott checked his swing successfully. So 3-1 here on the 7-hole hitter for Stanford. 0 for 1 for Ethan Hott. Hit by a pitch back in the first, flew out to center in the third. 3-1. There's a weak chopper towards the third baseline, going to roll foul. Thinking about picking it up, but Hott would have been chopping through first base easily. So Pankinen now able to work back into a full count with nobody on, 2 out. Here in the top of the fourth inning, a 9-4 ball game. Nebraska was down 9-0 before getting a crooked number in the bottom of the third. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Ethan Hott. The pitch. There's a ground ball hit to third. Beek's going to have to hurry. Gloves it, fires over to first. Not in time. Tough play. Pankinen induces weak contact, but just hitting a spot that was going to be extremely difficult. And Hott, who runs well, I mean, Overbeek did everything he could to try to make that one close.
And if you're Pankinen, you made the pitch you needed to make. I mean, he just chewed him up right there. Back-to-back pitches, almost identical, swinging bunt up the third baseline.
Here's Nolan Stoll, the catcher. Good speed leading away from first. Looks at a first pitch fastball just up. 1-0. Yeah, the velocity's been there. As advertised. Mid-90s stuff being shown by the freshman Pankinen. The 1-0. There's a fastball. Pounds the zone. 1-1. Again, slider, fastball is pretty much what you're going to see from Pankinen. Not using much of a change. There's a bluff swing. They're going to see if they went around. Quick throw back to first. They do say he did go around. That would have been surprised if Stoll got the favorable call from the first base umpire. So now it's 1-2. Runner at first, 2 away. Here in the top of the fourth. Pankinen set. The pitch. There's a ball hit right back to him. It comes off his glove. He doesn't know where it's at, and now the runner's going to be safe. Oh, my goodness. The ball got into the glove of Pankinen. His glove fell down, and then the ball went the other way. Pankinen went after his glove, thinking the ball was in there, and it was behind him.
Man, just brutal luck on back-to-back swings for Pankinen. You described it perfectly. The panic set in when he realized the ball wasn't in his glove and it was just 3 feet off to his right.
So now the bottom of the order, Brock Sell, the 9-hole hitter, trying to keep it alive for Stanford, and Nebraska looking for the escape hatch here. First pitch was low. Sell doubled back in the third. 1-0 pitch. This one's popped up to the left field foul territory. Jeske chasing over towards the bullpen. Can't get to it as he runs out of room and almost fell into the bullpen. Hope he's okay there. He was on full sprint there, and that can be a little painful on the midsection.
Hobbling a bit. It's really about thigh high. He ran into that wall. And again, more bad luck for Pankinen. Made another good pitch, and there's, 4 feet of foul territory over there. Made another pitch worthy of an out. He's allowed 2 base hits that have gone maybe a combined 100 feet.
So hot from second, stole from first, 2 away. 1 ball, 1 strike. The pitch. Slider misses low. 2-1 here on Brock Sell. Yeah, that was just out of the grasp of Jeske in that Husker bullpen. 2-1. Shot the other way. This one a lot more out of play. Jeske doesn't have to sprint after this one. Now 2-2. Really would like to see this hitter if you're Pankinen. 2-2 pitch. Came back inside and just missed a spot. Ooh, that was a slider and a beauty on the inner part of the plate. Just didn't get the call.
Yeah, and that's plenty of ire from the Husker coaches to the home plate umpire there.
Runners will be off on the pitch. The 3-2. This one plunked him. It might have missed him, actually. I mean, I don't know how it missed him. It was ball 4 regardless, but turned into it. And it might have actually snuck through his legs.
Man, this is just turning into an unbelievably unfortunate inning for Pankinen. And he's going to have to pitch through it with the bases loaded here. But now he has to face back to the top of the order.
Tatum Marsh led the game off with a triple. This one almost hits him. Misses inside. So, and a very wise decision by Jeter Worthley, going to come out, and here comes Dylan Carey. There's a little bit of that experience from a guy like Dylan Carey, just going to go out and talk to the freshman. Jeter Worthley handling the pitching staff here. And I think exactly what you mentioned, Ben, is what most likely Dylan Carey is telling the pitcher that, hey, you've made some great pitches so far. Let's not all of a sudden let it get sideways.
Price Bender has grabbed a ball behind Pankinen, and yeah, you feel like if Nebraska is going to hang around in this one, you've got to find a way to get out of this with a 0.
Tatum Marsh, leadoff hitter, the right fielder, has a triple and a double this season, 4 hits on the year. 1-0 pitch, took a hack at that one, comes up empty, just into the glove of Worthley. 1-1. Pankinen really trying to lock in here. The 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Came inside with a fastball. Great location there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases loaded 2 away. Husker fans getting behind Pankinen. Here's the 1-2. Just off the plate. A good spot again with that fastball.
And Will Bolt is steaming in that third base dugout.
He's worked inside, then tried to go outer half. The 2-2. Swing and a miss. Fooled him on the slider. Auden Pankinen gets out of it. Got a little interesting, but how about that for the freshman? The Huskers, after putting up 4 runs in the bottom of the third, get a shutdown inning. As we head to the bottom of the 4th. Score remains Stanford 9, Nebraska 4. The Huskers Radio Network.
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. This is Kyle Crooks, the voice of the Huskers, telling you to level up with the new Husker Visa debit card, free with any FNBO checking account. Be one who lives it, one who proves it. Every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnbo.com/Huskers. One for the fans, one for you. Member FDIC.
Save time when you shop online with Hy-Vee. Hy-Vee makes it easy to order groceries online through our app or Hy-Vee.com. Pickup is always free. And if you have a Perks Plus membership, you get free delivery and free express pickup. Shop online with Hy-Vee and you can create and save grocery lists. Shop the sales and get fuel savers. Talk about convenient. Order groceries online today. Check out Hy-Vee.com or download the Hy-Vee app.
Husker Nation travels well with the Lincoln Airport, the official airport of the Husker Athletics, with convenient flights and hassle-free service. It's LNK for the win. Visit LincolnAirport.com. New pitcher for Stanford is another lefty. It is Quentin Marsh, 6'2", 217-pound freshman from San Jose, California. He is the younger brother of Tatum Marsh, the right fielder. So we'll get our first look here at the younger brother, Quentin. Pretty highly recruited prospect. 9th ranked recruited left-handed pitcher in the state of California. So his first action as a Cardinal here. Good size on him, and he's got some runs to play with. Stanford leading 9-4. What a big job by Auden Pankinen to fight through a whole bunch of adversity in his first Husker inning. And we'll see if the Huskers can keep going offensively.
And they'll do so through the heart of the Nebraska order. 2, 3, 4 coming up for the Huskers. Jet Buck, who's already got a double in this one. He'll lead it off for the Big Red. And Nebraska would love to climb even further into this game. Again, if you're just joining us late, it was 9-0 Stanford. Cardinal were able to get 3 more runs after a 6-run first. They did so in the top of the third with a 3 spot, but then Nebraska answered with 4 runs in the bottom of the third. So now here in the bottom of the fourth, trailing by 5. Marsh, another lefty, has been mentioned. This is away to Jet Buck, 1-0. Jet Buck now has 2 doubles on the season. He's driven in 4. 7 hits on the year as he shoots this one over to the third baseman. Great stab by Moran. Throws, and they get him in time. Sasaki with a stretch. And somehow Moran, who wasn't even up on his feet making that throw, kind of fell back down. That was quite the defensive effort there by J.J. Moran.
And a great pick by Sasaki, too, because that was not an easy one to handle.
Yeah, for a big guy, he got the stretch out there, too. So here's Case Sanderson. Just tough luck there for Jet Buck. First pitch to Case, in there for strike 1. Case on the afternoon, 0 for 1, walked back in the first inning. Entered the contest 7 for 11. He grounds one over to second base. Nadai handles it over to Sasaki for out number 2. So Marsh able to get 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Joshua Overbeek will hit. 1 for 2. Doubled and scored back in the third. Overbeek already with 4 doubles in 3 games. Has driven in 7 for Nebraska. Marsh misses low. Seen changeup and fastball so far from Marsh. Overbeek inches in. Right-handed hitter, and he shoots this one through the left side for another hit for Joshua Overbeek, and a 2-out single to keep the inning alive. That one was not going to be handled by Moran. Gave it an attempt, though. So that is now 8 hits on the season for Joshua Overbeek. There's Dylan Carey, singled to left back in the third inning, came around and scored. And he shoots this one into the gap to left center field. It'll be handled by Sell, but Beek will hold up at second. So back-to-back singles for Nebraska. And Ben, again, I know Nebraska's down by 5 runs, but what we have seen 2 through 5 throughout this weekend has been impressive, and especially when Nebraska needs to put more pressure on this Stanford team. There you go, guys that have been doing it all weekend, Joshua Overbeek and Dylan Carey.
Well, there just hasn't been a comfortable inning for Stanford on the mound, right? I mean, the Huskers have done a really good job hanging around in this one.
So Cole Kitchens doubled back in the third, way outside of that offering. Kitchens also scored on the 2-run homer by Will Jeske. He's reached base successfully in his 2 at-bats today. Walked back in the second. Ground ball hit to short. Easy play for Bates, and that will retire the side. So the Huskers, no runs off 2 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left on base. We played 4 here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Score is Stanford 9, Nebraska 4. This is Big Red Baseball.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
You know that dollar bill you have stuffed into your pocket? Well, give it a little respect. It can buy you a Lotto America ticket from the Nebraska Lottery and maybe win you millions. Play today. Lotto America top prize odds, 1 in 26 million. Defensive changes for Nebraska. New right fielder in the game as Drew Grego has now made his way into the lineup for Max Butenbach. And new pitcher for Nebraska will be sophomore Price Bender. Bender, heavily used arm out of the bullpen a year ago. Got a 5.76 earned run average, 20 appearances on the season. He went 25 innings, allowing 26 hits, 16 runs all earned. Struck out 16 while walking 10. Opponents at 257 against Price Bender, who will make his first appearance of the 26th season here for Nebraska. Our score, Stanford 9, Huskers 4, as we've reached the 5th inning. Once again, here's Ben McLaughlin.
All right, thank you, Nick. Again, the Huskers threaten offensively. They've left 8 runners on base through 4 innings. They're honestly 2 two-out hits away from having this be close to tied. As it is, it's a 9-4 Stanford lead. And Price Bender, a very tough task in front of him here in the 5th with 2, 3, and 4 due up. Very, very nice job from Auden Pankinen in his Husker debut, a clean inning, and he had to work for it. Charlie Bates stands in, swings at the first pitch, and fouls it off to the left and out of play. Bates has reached base all 3 times. An infield hit, a single to right, and a walk. Already his 4th plate appearance in just the 5th inning. Bender's next one is pulled just foul. Right field line. And Bates just misses extra bases. Bender becomes the 5th pitcher for the Huskers today. Price ahead, no balls, 2 strikes. The pitch, curve in the dirt, 1-2. Bender added a little weight this offseason, boosted the velocity up a little bit. More 86, 88 last year, 88 now, touch 90. The 1-2. There's a slow chopper toward second. Buck with a bit of a tricky hop, takes care of it, throws to first for the out. Nice job by Bender, getting the leadoff man. Buck kind of looks down at the dirt here at the playing surface at Salt River Fields. That kind of took a little bounce to his left, ended up feeling it right near his kneecap, but adjusted nicely to make the play. First time Nebraska's sat down Charlie Bates. Now Nadi, senior, right-handed batter. Bender's first pitch. Slider snaps in there, 0-1. Nadi doubled into the left center field gap and scored in the first. Bounced into a double play and drew a bases-loaded walk. The 0-1. High chopper foul, third base side. So Bender's getting some good sink. Stanford's pounding a few of these Bender deliveries straight into the hard dirt out in front of home plate. Price again had no balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Slider swing and a miss. He got him. And on 3 pitches, Bender has Nadi sat down. Quickly 2 outs in the Stanford 5th. And now Brady Reynolds. Reynolds have a little star next to his last at bat. He came to the plate with the bases loaded and sent a shot to the right field wall. As this one he takes over the inside corner, called a strike. Bender filling it up. The ballpark just held it, and that would have been a grand slam had he had a little bit more carry on it. The 0-1 pitch. Bender misses low, 1-1.
I wasn't worried.
I was. Significantly. That could have been the knockout blow in the 3rd inning. As it is, it was a loud out. The Huskers have scored the last 4 runs in this game. Bender ready for the 1-1. Big swing and a miss. Good changeup there from Price. 1-2. Well, he looks in control right now.
You go back to those 20 appearances he had last year. He saw plenty of action.
Husker fans trying to help him through it. Here's the pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Well, it looked like tough going for the Husker pitching staff through the first 3 innings, but done a good job here in the last few frames. See if Bender can finish the 5th. The pitch. Slider ripped past Bender, backing up his carry with the diving stop and the throw to first for the out. Beautiful defensive alignment and outstanding play from Carey. And it's a 1-2-3-5 for Bryce Bender. What a play by the Husker shortstop. No runs, no hits, no errors, no cardinal left. We're halfway through at Salt River in Scottsdale. Stanford 9, Nebraska 4. This is the Huskers Radio Network.
Just like D1 athletes, farmers view each growing season as a new opportunity. Aurora Cooperative is committed to elevating the success of our members every season. Rooted in our core mission, we provide top-notch products, services, and expertise. Our strong work ethic mirrors that of the Huskers, driving success. Choose Aurora Cooperative, your partner in elevating agriculture. Go Big Red!
Being a Nebraska fan doesn't stop when the game ends. It's every day, all day, home or away. This is Kyle Crooks, the voice of the Huskers, telling you to level up with the new Husker Visa debit card, free with any FNVO checking account. Be one who lives it, one who proves it. Every time you pay with the Husker Visa debit card, only at FNVO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get yours today at fnvo.com/Huskers. One for the fans, one for you. Member FDIC.
One of every 3 fatal crashes in Nebraska involves an alcohol-impaired driver. If you drink, don't drive. Impaired driving is deceptively dangerous. From the NDOT Highway Safety Office, what a defensive play by Dylan Carey to end the Stanford half of the 5th. DC with a couple of hits, but continuing to flash the glove and keep Stanford off the scoreboard there in the 5th inning. Still 9-4 in favor of the Cardinal.
You'd really like to see Nebraska keep the pressure going here. and get a few runs to chip away further at this Stanford 5-run lead. At one time, it was a 9-0 Cardinal lead. The Huskers scored 4 in the third and have put back-to-back zeros on the board to give their offense a chance. And now our first look in the batter's box of Drew Grigo. And the coaches are loving what they're seeing from number 10. Right-handed stick, freshman, stands in, takes the first pitch, bouncing in front of the plate, ball 1. Grigo went to Bellevue West, former Thunderbird, 6-foot, 195-pounder. And in terms of baseball player attitude, Grigo's got it. The 1-0. That's a shot into right field for a base hit. Attaboy, Drew. First at bat and a solid base knock into right, and it starts an inning. And now, seemingly the hottest hitter on the planet, Will Jeske, coming to the plate. Jeske flew out to the wall in the second, cleared the wall with a 2-run homer. He was 3 for 3 in the game last night. The Huskers would take a lousy single from Ski here. First pitch on the way, breaking ball, slow tapper third base side, picked up foul by the third baseman Moran. Jeske hurt himself. He was hunched over holding his bat about halfway up the line. Looks like he's all right.
He was fixing his right pant leg. Actually.
Okay, well, that's good.
That's how he rolls.
He did take, remember, he collided with the wall in left field last inning.
Right in the midsection there.
Marsh comes set, the pitch. Off the plate. Stoll tried to frame it up, but doesn't get the call. It's 1-1. Jeske has a wide open infield on the right side with a pull side shift. Grigo runs well at first base. Here's the pitch. Jeske way out in front of the slider. He didn't see that one out of the hand. Now he's down 1-2.
Change-up, slider now here on Will Jeske. After he punished 2 fastballs that he's seen earlier in this game.
Be surprised to see a hard one here. The next one, another slider, and he pops it up a mile high into shallow right. Marsh coming in a few steps, and the older brother of the pitcher puts it away for the first out. Now Mac Moyer, very productive day at the plate. He is single to right and a hustle double to right. And I was going to say, if Stanford puts a pull side shift here, I'm not taking a hit and run off the table. The way that Moyer's shown he can handle the bat in a left-on-left matchup. The pitch, squares to bunt, pulls back, takes a slider down and away. Don't hate that idea either. It gives Moran something to think about. If you could pull him even in a few more steps, whole left side of the infield would be available. Marsh comes set. Here's the pitch. Moyer swings, and it's a high fly ball to deep right field. Marsh tracking it. He's to the wall. He looks up, and it's off the base of the wall. Grigo is getting held up at third. A ringing double for Mac Moyer, who is 3 for 3 in his first Husker start.
Boy, Ben, that had a chance too, huh? That had a shot to get out of here, and he's not getting cheated on his swings right now. And I want to give credit. We don't get a chance to do this often, but Lance Arvell, the right call there, not sending Grigo, because the throw that came in was about as textbook as you could ask for on the relay in. And I think Grigo would have been dead in his tracks. So a good hold up there, now putting runners at second and third with less than 2 outs. Another great opportunity here for Nebraska.
106 off the bat of Moyer. Wow. That thing landed 391 feet away from home plate. This is a big yard. 345 down the lines, 390 to the gaps, 410 to straightaway center. And with the entire Stanford infield chatting with Quentin Marsh, now out comes the pitching coach. We might have a change here. The Huskers down by 5, but the 8-9 hitters for the Huskers are single-handedly putting Nebraska back into this baseball game. And Nick, the hit column is now even at 11 apiece.
And right now, you're just looking at Nebraska, again, just getting good swings on it all throughout the lineup at this point.
Stanford going to the bullpen. We're going to see our first right-handed pitcher. And he'll see Jeter Worthley as he comes in. We've got another Nebraska soybean pitching change. A Nebraska farm fact, Nebraska soybeans are an innovative alternative to petroleum and many everyday products. We'll tell you who the new Cardinal pitcher is after this timeout on the Huskers Radio Network.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
New pitcher in for the Cardinal will be 6'3" righty, sophomore, Cohen Gomez. Gomez out of Anaheim Hills, California, has thrown already this season. Threw on Friday in that victory that Stanford had over Arizona. Comes in with a 5.40 earned run average. He did get the win in that decision. Making his second appearance of the season, he went 1 2/3. Gave up 2 hits, 1 earned run. And Gomez struck out 4 without walking a batter. Arizona hit 286 off of Gomez. He did throw last year, had an elevated earned run average. Made 7 appearances in 7 innings a year ago, where teams hit a healthy 412 against him. So Nebraska will get a look at a righty here. And again, we'll see with the 1 2/3 on Friday, quick turnaround, how effective Gomez can be.
Gomez is a different look for the Huskers. He is a very over-the-top right-handed throwing slot. So Jeter is going to see a different arm angle here than what we've seen through the first 3 Stanford arms. But the Huskers have 2 more runners in scoring position. And I wonder if Jeter's got bunt on his mind. Handles the bat well. He runs well. There's great speed on the bases for the Huskers with Moyer at second and Grigo at third. Gomez comes set. Here's the first pitch to Jeter Worthley. It's a fastball right over. 0-1. 9-4. Huskers trying to inch their way back into this game. Gomez comes set. The pitch. Worthley takes outside. Counts square. Out of ball and a strike. Not showing bunt through the first 2 offerings. Gomez comes set. The 1-1. Good cut there. He fouled it straight into the screen. But now he's down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Jeter's going to have to find a way to put the ball in play here. Infield back. Stanford will surrender a run for an out. Here's the 1-2. Bounce in front of the plate, kicks away from the catcher. It's going to score a run. Grigo touches home with the left foot. Moyer moves up to third. And the Huskers get another one back on the wild pitch.
So you'll take it right there. And again, I'm not saying this is what caused that errant pitch, that errant throw, missing the zone. But this is where you continue to put that pressure and understand the situation. Nebraska continuing to climb back in this.
Moyer now at third. Gomez's pitch. Worthley takes another one in the dirt. And now it's full. 9-5. Things have tightened up here in Scottsdale. See if Worthley can get a 3-2 win. Gomez comes set. Here's the pitch. Chewed up on the handle, and it's going to roll just foul, third base side. Boy, that really got in on the hands of Worthley. I thought originally maybe it hit off of his foot, but rolled harmlessly in foul ground. Moyer, the base runner, will hand the former Lincoln East Spartan his bat, and we'll do it over again at 3-2.
Yeah, you were right on with the location of that one. 94-mile-an-hour fastball just rolled right in on the hands of Jeter.
Now he takes a deep breath, and we'll see another 3-2 pitch. Gomez holds at the letters. Here's the payoff. Fouled off to the right and out of play. Jeter fighting at the dish. Just 2 hits so far for Jeter on the weekend, but this is what I'm telling you, he's not outmatched. He's seeing every bit of 94, 95 right now. And this is as a competitive at-bat as it gets. Gomez ready. Here's the pitch. Grounder to short. It's going to score a run. Bates picks it up, throws the first for the out, but job done by Jeter Worthley. Nebraska chipping further away to that Cardinal lead. It's 9-6 on the RBI ground out.
Just a quality at bat right there. Fighting away. You know, at the very least, with a runner 90 feet away from scoring, you got to put the ball in play. Do so on the right side is exactly what Jeter Worthley did. Finally got a pitch that he could handle and shoot it that way.
Jet Buck will stand in with the bases clear and 2 outs now in the inning. Here's the pitch. Down 1-0. Nobody throwing behind Gomez, so this will be his game for a while for Stanford, although seemingly half their roster is standing in the bullpen. The 1-0. Buck, good cut, fouled it straight back to the screen. That was a hearty hack there from Uno. It's 1-1. Huskers have scored the last 6 in this game. I mentioned a moment ago, we are level in hits at 11 apiece. Gomez looking into the dugout, has the sign. The pitch. Buck takes outside 2-1. Nick, looking at the scorecard, Nebraska's had 2 base runners in every inning.
Yeah. I mean, there's been opportunities. Stanford pitching has not been stress-free at all.
Here's the 2-1. Buck swings and pops one out of play. Count now 2 balls, 2 strikes. And I think maybe for the first time today, a little doubt in the Cardinal mind. They were thinking they were about to run away with this game ahead 9-0, and Nebraska's pulled the rope the other way and have scored the last 6. The 2-2. Bounced in front of the plate again, full count.
I get it. He's trying to bury that curveball, but, I mean, he's coming nowhere close when he's getting up on hitters. We saw the one get away.
3-2 on Buck. The pitch. Popped up right side. That'll reach the seats. So back-to-back hitters. The first 2 hitters that Gomez has seen. He has had to work past a 3-2 count. Here's the payoff. Swing and a foul off the gear of the catcher. That one hurt. Stoll's going to need some time to shake that one off. I think it got him in the chest protector.
Yeah, that was loud, too.
So we'll take a minute here in between pitches. The Huskers have scored 2 in the inning thanks to a single from Drew Grigo and a double from Mac Moyer. A wild pitch and an RBI groundout has plated them both. Another 3-2 pitch ready to be tossed. And it's low and inside, ball 4. And Jet Buck draws a walk. Well earned, and that'll get Case Sanderson to the plate. A rare hitless effort for Case Sanderson. Feel like it's only a matter of time before he finds a barrel. Buck runs well at first. See if Sandy can find a gap. First pitch down, ball 1. And all of a sudden, the task is becoming difficult for Gomez to get out of this bottom of the 5th. Here's the 1-0. Sandy taps one back behind home plate, a ball and a strike. Interesting defensive alignment in the infield, as we've said that all day. Moran, the third baseman, is playing at the shortstop position. Bates is playing near the bag at second. The 1-1. Sanderson fouls it again off the gear of the catcher. He's okay this time, but now he's down 1-2. Sandy going to have to protect with 2 strikes. Gomez comes set. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Case now 0 for 3, and that ends the inning. But the Huskers score 2 more runs on 2 hits, no errors. They leave their 9th runner stranded at first base. After 5 complete here in Arizona, Stanford 9, Nebraska 6. This is Big Red Baseball.
Want a real home field advantage? Start with comfort you don't have to think about. John Henry's delivers reliable heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical service with skilled service professionals ready to help. From strange sounds to weak airflow, flickering lights, or slow drains, we'll get your home back in the game. Proud to be an official partner of Husker Baseball. Make the easy call to John Henry's today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
That's my neighbor, Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a very big mistake. Hey, Joe, I think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have your underground utilities marked before you start digging?
John, that's just for big projects.
Actually, it's for any digging project. Congratulations, Joe. You found your electric line. Remember, safe digging always begins with a free call to 811. You want to borrow my phone, buddy?
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
Alongside Nick Hanley, I'm Ben McLaughlin. David Swotek, Christopher Sullivan-Diaz producing for us in our Acres Broadcast Center. Nebraska continuing to chip away at that Stanford lead. It was once 9-0, now it's 9-6. Bryce Bender back out for his 2nd inning of work, and still work to be done with the Nebraska pitching staff on the mound against this potent Stanford offense. Here in the top of the 6th, here to take the mic again for us is Nick Hanley.
All right, thanks, Ben. 5-6-7 with Rintaro Sasaki leading things off in the Cardinal 6th. Bryce Bender still working in relief. Slider in there for strike 1. So for Nebraska, trailing 9-0 at one point, they have scored 6 unanswered. Fastball on the outer half. 0-2. Stanford got 6 in the first, 3 in the third. Nebraska with 4 in the third, 2 in the 5th. The 0-2 turned on to first base. Sanderson bobbles it momentarily. Going to have to flip it over to Bender, who's covering in time for the first out. Big out recorded for Bryce Bender in Nebraska. Good job by Price. No hesitation at all. As soon as that ball was hit over, he was covering right away. That'll bring up J.J. Moran. Moran's been productive. Drove in a run on a sacrifice fly back in the first. Doubled and scored in the third. Breaking ball outside. 1-0. Now, we've talked about it all weekend long, the length of the Nebraska lineup. Boy, Stanford has also shown that there is zero weakness 1 through 9 in this Cardinal lineup. Fastball just off the outer edge there, 2-0. J.J. Moran, 1 for 2 officially today. The 2-0. Swing and a miss. Bryce Bender, remembering last year, too, worked very quickly. You don't really have to worry about any type of clock violations with old number 6. 2-1 pitch. Misses away with a slider. Now 3-1. See if he can get back on beam here. Trying to limit the activity on the base path here for the Cardinal. Nebraska trying to continue to chip away. Longer look in. Now the 3-1 pitch. This one's hit well to center field. Chasing it down as Moyer by the warning track makes the catch on the run to his right. For out number 2. Hit well, but Moyer had a good beat on it. So the outfield alignment and personnel changed an inning ago. Jeske still in left, Moyer in center, but Grigo in right. Here's Ethan Hott with 2 outs, nobody on. Here in the top of the 6th. First pitch, right down the middle of the fastball, 0-1. Hott 1 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch and scored in the first. Singled in the 4th. Slider misses in the dirt, 1-1. Nebraska, another tall test in the weekend in the Lone Star State starting on Friday. Huskers will play Louisville, Kansas State, and then wrap things up against Florida State. Slider misses low and out, 2-1. First game will be against Louisville on Friday, then Kansas State Saturday. Before wrapping it up with Florida State on Sunday. There's a chopping ground ball over towards Dylan Carey. Gloves it. Easy throw to first. Dug out by Case Sanderson. And a 3-up, 3-down inning for Bryce Bender. And the Huskers will go to work here in the bottom of the 6th. The score, Stanford 9, Nebraska 6. Here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to protect against wear and deposits. Get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select filter for just $33.99 in-store only. Limit supply. Learn more at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
That's my neighbor Joe. Hey, Joe.
Hey, John.
Joe's about to make a big mistake. Hey, Joe, think it might be a good idea to call 811 to have the utilities marked before you start digging?
I'm not digging very deep. It's no big deal.
No big deal.
Dad, the TV's out. Internet, too.
Remember, safe digging always starts with a free call to 811. Oh, what a knucklehead.
Brought to you by Nebraska 811.
Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics. Well, how about Nebraska's pitching staff? After that loud out in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded, 3 straight zeros nailed down to the board by the Husker bullpen. Rob Childress has to be thrilled with that, but still work to be done. Not a lot of margin for error if you're down 9-0 in a baseball game. Huskers have cut it to 9-6. And they've got the heart of their order due up.
Joshua Overbeek will lead it off for the Big Red. They'll send up hitters 4, 5, 6. Overbeek, Carey, and Kitchens. Gomez mentioned threw on Friday 1 2/3. Pitch count was relatively low. He did factor in for the victory against Arizona on Friday. Heavy overhand delivery from the righty. Overbeek puts down a bunt. It'll take Gomez off to his right. Throws to first in time. Trying for the element of surprise. Just could not get it down that third base line enough to make it a closer play. So Overbeek is retired on 1 pitch. Good play by Gomez. Bouncing off the mound. Fielding that one cleanly with a strong throw over to first. Here's Dylan Carey, back-to-back singles for DC after flying out to left in the 1st inning. Looks at a fastball down the middle. Dylan Carey now with 9 hits on the season. He's 9 of 18. He's got a home run, a triple. Skies this one a mile high to left field. Sell over by the lines, got room, and just barrels over into the Husker bullpen. He does make the catch. He caught it, secured it, and then doubled over right by the gates of the entryway to the Husker bullpen in left field. That thing was skied a mile by Dylan Carey, but 2 quick outs recorded here by Gomez. They'll bring up Cole Kitchens, trying to extend the inning and get a base runner here for the Huskers in the bottom of the 6th. First offering, high outside, 1-0. Mentioned Cohen Gomez. 10 appearances last year as a freshman, now in his sophomore campaign. 1-0 pitch. Chopping ground ball to the third baseman. Moran up with it over to first in time. So the Huskers, much like Stanford in the 6th, go quietly in the bottom of the 6th, 3 up, 3 down. We've played 6 here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Score remains Stanford 9, Nebraska 6. This is Big Red Baseball.
Nothing ruins a good game like a plumbing curveball. Whether it's a clogged drain, leaky water heater, or a sump pump quitting at the worst time, John Henry's is here with service professionals who explain your options and get it done right. From quick repairs to full replacements, we protect your home and your weekend. Proud to be an official partner of Husker Baseball. Make the easy call to John Henry's today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
Does your business need quick, competitive financing for heavy machinery, trucks, or other equipment? Currency is here to help. Whether you're financing construction equipment, farm equipment, trucks, trailers, or any other big-ticket item, Currency will automatically find the best rates. Currency facilitates loans for up to $500,000 with repayment terms up to 72 months. It's fast, easy, and free to use. Visit GoCurrency.com and apply today.
Stay healthy and active with natural chiropractic care. Did you know that chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages? Proven to treat pain, improve mobility, and prevent injury. Find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
So Nebraska and Stanford with a very eventless 6th inning, now into the 7th here. Huskers trying to complete the comeback. Down 9-0 after 3 innings before the Huskers put up 4 in the 3rd and 2 in the 5th, but had their first 3 up, 3 down inning to the bottom of the 6th. Bryce Bender still on here in the 7th for Nebraska. They'll face 8-9-1 with catcher Nolan Stoll leading it off. Breaking ball in the outside corner for strike 1. Nolan Stoll had a real big moment back in the first, able to double down the left side on that huge 6-run inning. That really put an exclamation point on that inning. This one gets off the mitt and well outside the zone, 1-1. Stoll's got 2 hits today, singled back in the 4th inning as well, was also hit by a pitch. 1-1 pitch. Ball sharply hit to Dylan Carey, but makes the stab successfully over to Case Sanderson for the first out. For most shortstops, there's nothing really routine about that, especially with the... Love to see the exit velo on the bat of Nolan Stoll there, but there's just zero panic from number 15. Makes it look routine. Here's Brock Sell. Sell looks at a pitch just low. Sell also with a double in this game. Walked in the 4th. Drove in a run on a ground out to second in the 1st. 1 for 2 on the afternoon. As he turns on this one to deep right center field. Moyer, though, has a beat on it right by the warning track, makes the catch for the second out. And it's not that Stanford all of a sudden has laid off the barrels and the contact, but they've just been finally hitting to the Nebraska defenders are. But they're still getting some healthy swings on Husker pitching. Takes us back to the top of the order. It's Tatum Marsh. Marsh with a couple of strikeouts. Looks at a slider in there for strike 1. But really set the tone in this game. Led off with a triple. He came around and scored. 1 for 4 today. Swings and just gets a piece of that one. Chase Bender elevates the fastball. And now way ahead of Tatum Marsh, 0-2. The pitch bounces that one in the dirt, 1-2. Bryce Bender, again, the arm angle. Give you a different arm slot. Sometimes we'll be a little bit deliberate with the leg kick. A lot of things you have to keep in mind in the batter's box. 1-2 pitch, just off the plate, 2-2. Decent spot there by Bryce Bender. Now you got to go get him. Bender, long look, working from the windup. 2-2 offering. In the dirt again. Now it's full here on Tatum Marsh. Just cannot mess around with this Stanford lineup, even with 2 outs. As Ben mentioned, both teams with 11 hits apiece. Bender breathes. Payoff pitch coming. Fouled over to the Husker dugout. We'll do it again. Huskers have left 9 stranded on the base path, but Stanford right there at 7. So we've seen those rare 3-up, 3-down innings. It's been indeed that. 3-2 again. There's a ground ball hit over to Jet Buck at second. Up with it over to first. Has to be dug out, but it will not be. Gets away from Case Sanderson as the ball was kind of spiked by Jet Buck. In an unfortunate error in the first one of the game for either team, and it comes here in the top of the 7th to extend the inning for Stanford. And given where we are in this lineup, boy, that one hurts.
Yeah, you never want to give away extra at-bats, especially to the offense of the prowess of Stanford. That's the first error committed by a Nebraska defender. Remember, the only other one was Carson Yassa.
So here's Charlie Bates. Grounds one foul over by the first base coach for Stanford. 0-1. Jet Buck, who was really playing towards the second base bag on the shift, fielded it cleanly, had no issue with that, and had plenty of time. Just rushed the throw and spiked it into the ground. Quick move over to first, but Marsh in there easily. Bender will come set the letters. The 0-1. Fouled back off to the left, out of play. So just like the previous hitter, 0-2. Oh, my goodness. Great effort by a fan, but almost fell over in the row in front of him to try to make a catch, and he did not make that catch. Boy, going to have some explaining to do. 2 outs, 1 on, 0-2 to Charlie Bates. Just missed on the inner half. And boy, they had Marsh, who was dancing into his secondary before Bender got rid of that one. I'm shocked that he did not even try to attempt that stolen base. Nebraska had no idea. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. Slider just out. 2-2. Very similar sequence of events as we saw with Tatum Marsh. Quick throw back over to first. Marsh under the tag. But you just get the sense that, yeah, this is a big moment for both teams in this one. Bender set at the letters. They got Marsh picked off. Sanderson trying to run him down. Flips over to Dylan Carey. He'll make the tag, and that will retire the side. So Bryce Bender might have been fooled the first time. Second time they get Marsh dancing off the bag and pick him off to end any threats. So no runs off no hits. 1 error, no runners left on base. Stretch time here at Salt River Field. Score remains Stanford 9, Nebraska 6 on the Huskers Radio Network.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com. and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
To be a part of Nebraska medicine.
Hi, welcome.
Is to be a part of something extraordinary.
Nebraska medicine, how may I help you?
Because these are the doors that open doors.
How are you?
To growth and opportunity for each other and for our community.
That went really well.
For those who know that the academic experience.
You know what? I agree.
The life experience that you get here is beyond what you can get anywhere else. And that's exactly why here is where you belong. Join us at nebraskamed.com/careers. Nebraska Medicine. Together, extraordinary.
Stanford going back to the bullpen. It is their fifth pitcher of the contest. They're going to get 6'5", 240-pound senior lefty Sam Garwal. 10 baseball fans will have alarms going off in their head. He transferred over from Northwestern. He was there back in 2023. He was an all Big Ten freshman and then missed his sophomore campaign due to injury. His second year as a Cardinal, 16 appearances last year. Finished with a save, an ERA of 8.20. Big strikeout numbers, 36 Ks and just over 26 innings worked. So back-end bullpen type guy for Stanford. And we have a new catcher into the game as well. Luke Lavin is the catcher for Stanford. So some defensive changes as we're now in the back third of the game. Huskers still chasing 3 runs.
So Nebraska at the bottom of the lineup, but it's been a productive one throughout this season, and especially today. Drew Grigo will hit for the second time. Singled and scored back in the 5th inning. We'll lead things off. Get his first look at the new pitcher, Garwal. This is lone inside. It'll be Grigo, Jeske, and Moyer. Trying to get something started here for the Huskers in the bottom of the 7th. Garwal working from the stretch. Fastball down the middle. So Nebraska, mentioned the bottom of the order. All 3 between Grigo, Jeske, and Moyer all had hits and base hits. There's a swing and a miss on the off speed. Grigo came into the game for Max Butenbach, had a single. Will Jeske, a 2-run homer back in the 3rd. Mac Moyer, just a ho-hum day. 3 for 3 with 2 doubles. Grigo going to have to battle here. Chops one down the third baseline, foul. Still a good diving attempt by Moran. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here on the leadoff hitter in the bottom of the 7th. Huskers trailing by 3. Left 9 stranded in this contest. Garwal delivers. Missed just low. Good spot. Good discipline by Grigo. 2-2. Playing a slight pull, but this is about as straight away as we've seen the infield alignment for Stanford on a Husker hitter. Pitch, took something off that one, swing and a miss. That was very solid off speed by Garwal to get Grigo, and now relaying that information to Will Jeske as he walks to the Husker dugout, trying to communicate also with Mac Moyer. Like to see that. Little things like that. Talk about this team being connected. Easy to maybe be down on yourself after that at bat, but still trying to be a good teammate. Jeske looks at a pitch inside. And I've told you about the lineup really throughout this weekend, but also the power surge from the Husker left fielder Will Jeske. Fastball just up, 2-0 here on Jeske. Almost had 2 home runs in this game. hit a line shot right to the wall that was caught in the second, but then got it over the wall in a similar area. That 2-run homer in the third. This one pops the mitt, but inside with a fastball, 3-0. You're on Will Jeske with Mac Moyer waiting on deck before we would turn things over to the top of the lineup. Garwal from the stretch. 3-0 offerings. Up. Ooh. Looked upstairs. Will Jeske was getting ready to toss the bat. Nodded in agreement with the plate umpire. Probably told him to get back in the box. So now 3-1 here on Jeske. Here's the pitch. Fastball down the middle. Now 3-2.
3-0 wasn't even close. It was north of the letters. Will Bolt isn't pleased.
Now Will Jeske going to have to battle through it here in a full count. Here's the offering. Called strike 3 on the inside corner. And now Jeske with some words to the home plate umpire. Now that is, you talk about a major turn of events there where it looked like Nebraska's going to have a runner on with less than 2 outs. Now there's 2 away. So here's Mac Moyer. Mentioned Moyer, just an outstanding day. 3 for 3 with 2 doubles. Scored a run back in the 5th. Looks at a fastball in the outside corner. 0-1. Gotta say, zones have been pretty consistent all throughout the weekend. That one might have been missed, but all in all, this one's low and out. Not a whole lot to be critical of with the balls and strikes this weekend.
I might consider dropping a bunt down here if I'm Moyer. There's nobody home on that third base side.
Major pole side shift going on with Mac Moyer. Here's the 1-1. That one is low and outside. Just a lot of fastballs. A little sink on that fastball. And we're seeing from Sam Garwal. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Nebraska trailing 9-6. There's a weak tapper over to Garwal. Has to turn and fire, and it gets away. Over by the tarp, on his way to second is Mac Moyer. The throw to second, not in time. Good running. And heads up base running there by Mac Moyer. Never hesitated, because if he does, that's going to be a lot closer play. So now Nebraska with a runner in scoring position. And the Huskers will turn the lineup over to the top in Jeter Worthley. So that'll go down as now Stanford's first error. Jet Buck had one for the game's first in the previous inning. Garwal here to keep the inning alive for Nebraska. Jeter Worthley getting his first look at Garwal. First pitch, fastball right down the middle. Jeter, a tough day so far, 0 for 3. Did drive in a run, though, back in the 5th.
Single and an error for Moyer, so he is 4 for 4.
All right. Yeah, likely beats out the throw. That's a good decision. This one bounced in the dirt on the breaking ball. 1-1 here on Jeter. Worthley picked up his first RBI of the season on a ground out to short. Good speed with Moyer over at second, 2 away. The 1-1. Could not lay off the breaking ball there, called strike 2.
You can see from up here, Jeter's just pressing a little bit. He had an 0 for 6 night the other night, 0 for 3 now. You get the sense maybe he's trying a little bit too hard, letting the game come to him a little bit.
Now we'll have to protect 1-2 with 2 away. The pitch. Breaking ball. They're going to appeal and say, no, he did not go around. Wow. Might have been a bit of a break. Looked like Jeter might have offered at that one, but first base umpire says he successfully was able to check his swing. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Narwhal checks his wrist. Now comes set at the belt. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss on the off speed. So Nebraska, no runs off one hit, one error, and one runner left on base. We played 7 here at Salt River Fields at Talking Stick. Score remains Stanford 9, Nebraska 6. This is Big Red Baseball.
Call SOS, a trustworthy company since 1950. Their technicians don't earn commission. This equals fair treatment to their customers. SOS is a family-owned third-generation company, and now to celebrate the 75th year in business for a limited time, get a New York AC or furnace for $75 per month. Get you and your loved ones comfortable again with SOS.
SOS to the rescue. SOS. SOS.
Call 402-391-2336.
The work is dirty and sometimes dangerous. It's the kind that can break your body, and if you let it, your spirit. But while there may be better ways to make a living, you won't convince me there's a better way to live. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer, and there's nothing else I would rather be.
Brought to you by the Nebraska Corn Board.
Nick Hanley, Ben McLaughlin back with you here at Salt River Fields. Be sure to stick around in our post-game coverage. We'll bring you the Blue Cross Blue Shield RBI of the game with our post-game coverage with Christian Sullivan-Diaz. Hopefully there's a big one that could get Nebraska out in front. Still trailing by 3, 9-6 as we've made our way into the 8th inning. To take us home once again, here is Ben McLaughlin.
All right, thank you, Nick. Boy, this game it's been a tale of 2 games, really. An offensive onslaught from both teams to now a back-end bullpen duel. Huskers will turn to Bryce Bender once again. He has been fantastic in relief, but has 2-3-4 due up. And this is now Stanford's second look at Bender as he made it all the way through the lineup. First pitch is rolled up the first base line, but foul off the bat of Charlie Bates. Bates is 2 for 3. He's been a tough out. 2 singles, an RBI, a run scored, and a walk. 9-6 our score. Stanford on top as we play in the 8th. The 0-1. Fastball up. He checked his swing, did not go around. It was a 6-run first for Stanford. They backed it up with 3 in the 3rd. Bender ready to work in the pitch. Did it hit him? He's acting like it did. A home plate umpire says no. Bates trying to plead his case. David Esker is now going to walk out of the dugout. There's no replay.
Well, and I can't imagine another one of the base umps would have had a better view, more so than the plate umpire on that. I don't think you're going to win this argument.
Clint Fagan says back in the box. Both sides have had some gripes today. It's a 2-1 count. Price ready to go in the pitch. There's a line shot into the gap in left center. That's trouble. It's going to plug the gap and one hop the wall. I think the Huskers now maybe wish that ball did hit Bates, as it's a standing double, and it's the first hit allowed by Bender. And for Stanford, a much-needed base hit, as their offense has gone quiet, and Rob Childress is coming around the railing and likely going to end the day of Bryce Bender, who was just fantastic today in relief for the Huskers. Slow walk out for Childress, and he has made the move to the bullpen. Another Nebraska farm fact: Nebraska soybeans are an innovative alternative to petroleum and many everyday products. Bender's day is over, and the Huskers now going to go get Kevin Manel, their closer, here in just the 8th inning with a runner at second and nobody out. I'll give you Manel's information after this quick break on the Huskers Radio Network.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Making his way into the game for Nebraska, Nebraska's closer, Kevin Manel, redshirt senior, big 6'4" righty out of Topeka, Kansas, and transferred by way of Mississippi State. Will have his second appearance this weekend. Manel also threw in the victory over Northeastern on Saturday night. He went one complete inning, struck out 2, walked 2, did not give up a run, did not give up a hit. And he will try to give his best effort to keep the game where it is. With the runner in scoring position, nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Nebraska still trailing by 3, 9-6.
A leadoff double from Bates ends the day of Bryce Bender, who was fantastic in relief. 3+, he allows just the 1 hit. No walks, struck out 1. He threw 45 pitches in relief for the Huskers here today. Really did a good job giving Nebraska a fighting chance in this one, holding the game for as long as he did where it's at. But now Manel's going to have to pitch around some trouble in the 8th. Bender allowed no runs to this point, but he is responsible for the runner. And Manel will have 3, 4, 5 in the Stanford order. Nadai is the hitter. He's 1 for 3. He doubled in that marathon first. So Manel works from the stretch, and the first pitch home. That's hit in the air to right center field. Moyer backing up into his left. This has a lot of carry on it all the way to the warning track. So easily tagging to third is Bates. That's the part of the yard. It seems the ball's traveling. Huskers getting out, but I think Stanford pleased with moving another run over to third base, and the Huskers going to bring the infield in to try to choke off any more Cardinal runs.
Yeah, it's been everything from pretty much straightaway center to right field that has just shown some carry here at the ballpark.
So Manel brings the first pitch home, and it's swung through by Brady Reynolds for a strike 0-1. Reynolds 1 for 4. Base hit into right field for an RBI in the first, and a loud fly out with the bases loaded in the third. Husker infield in. Manel brings it home. Just low. Not a bad spot, 1-1. 9-6 our score. Stanford on top. We're getting late in the 8th. Manel, a 3-quarter release, comes set in the pitch. Nasty slider swung through for a strike, 1-2.
Oh, and Ben, there's really no weak spot in this lineup, but you think about these next 2 hitters. I mean, this is just a pivotal moment if Nebraska is going to be able to come back.
I think that's why they elected to go closer here. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Slider behind the hitter, and that's going to score the run. No chance for Worthley. A wild pitch scores the 10th run for Stanford, and now their lead is 4. That was just a textbook overthrow by Manel. So Bender is going to allow 1 earned run in 3 innings of work. And a 2-2 count now on Brady Reynolds. Pitch. Soft liner towards second, backhanded by Buck. The throw on the run is in time, but not handled by Sanderson in the dirt. And an infield base hit for Reynolds. That was a Derek Jeter-style throw from Buck behind the bag. Nearly an impossible effort. Stanford has an infield hit.
Yeah, that was picked, I mean, really to the point that you didn't think there was going to be any play at all. And gets a hop, very tricky hop for Case Sanderson to handle as well.
Manel had sawed him off, but just a perfectly placed infield single. Sasaki cuts and misses, 0-1. Rintaro Sasaki today is 1 for 3 with a double and a walk. He has scored twice. Manel from the stretch. The pitch. Hit him. That slider has a lot of movement, but man, it's maybe perhaps moving a little bit too much as that rode in and got Sasaki on the leg. And Stanford putting the full court press on here in the top of the 8th.
Well, and you'd like to see somebody here down the order for Stanford that has at least shown in the short history of this game the ability to maybe roll one over. But when Stanford has got out for the most part in this game, it's been some line shots that are caught or at least elevating pitches. But, boy, what you wouldn't give for a ground ball right here.
J.J. Moran is the hitter. He's also been productive today. The pitch. Fastball outside corner 0-1. Moran is 1 for 3. Sac fly RBI, double and an RBI. He's hit the ball hard more than a few times today. Manel ready to the pitch. That shot toward right, that's trouble. Grigo giving it a run. He runs it down on a hop. It's going to score at least one. Moran into second with a double, and Stanford pulling away again. It's 11-6. And they're still going. Runners at second and third. Only one out. Well, they had held them down for a while. You felt like it was only a matter of time before they got going again.
And during that time, I mean, again, you look at Nebraska with 10 stranded base runners in this game, too. The opportunity was definitely there, and this game's still not over.
Infield drawn in again with runners at second and third. Hott takes the first pitch outside for a ball. A couple of Huskers getting warm in a hurry. I believe it's Harahill and Clark. Manel's pitch. Shot to short. Backhanded by Carey. And throws to first for the out. Everybody has to hold up. That just saved 2 runs. He has played a sparkling shortstop really his entire career, but highlighted no more than that right there. Now the first at bat for Luke Lavin. Outstanding play from Dylan Carey.
You come to expect those plays, and by no means, as I mentioned before, are those routine plays. But if there is a ball hit within just the range or the general vicinity of Dylan Carey, you just have now grown accustomed to him making those plays to where he almost makes them look routine. I just can't say enough of the defensive skill set. Obviously, he is a solid hitter, and you're looking for him to take that even bigger step this year. But what he does at short just cannot be overlooked.
Long meeting on the mound with Worthley and Manel. Like Rob Childress is just buying as much time as he can for Caleb Clark. And a little surprised they're letting this go on this long. Huskers only have one more mound visit, and out comes Rob Childress. Bought Caleb Clark a few more pitches. And that'll do it for Manel. Huskers going to go to the pen once more. Another Nebraska farm fact, farmers and ranchers raise livestock, poultry, and soybeans to provide nutritious, affordable protein for everyone. We'll get you new Husker pitchers set up for you after this break on the Huskers Radio Network.
Want to boost Nebraska's economy and help the planet? It's as easy as filling up your tank. Switch to soy-based biodiesel to cut greenhouse gases by up to 74% and support biodiesel growth.
I'm Greg Anderson, a farmer near Newman Grove, Nebraska, and biodiesel has transformed our farm. It cuts emissions, raises the cetane number, and improves fuel lubricity.
So ask for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, economy, and Nebraska soybean farmers. Nebraska soybeans, feeding, fueling, and innovating for the future.
Senior lefty from Orillia, Ontario, Caleb Clark will make his way in for the Huskers. This will be his second appearance of the season. Caleb Clark getting relief action on a Friday night, where he went 1 2/3 did allow a run, struck out 3, walked 2, but did not give up a hit. He will come in and try to put out the Flames here in the 8th inning, with Stanford already a crooked number and have added to their lead 2 already, and have now seen that 3-run lead balloon to a 5-run lead, 11-6, as Caleb Clark steps on the rubber.
The first runs Stanford has scored since the 3rd. And you knew, regardless of how this thing was going to finish, that 6-run first inning was going to go almost the whole way to tell the story of this game. You got to give Nebraska a lot of credit for scoring 6 unanswered to make it a game, but just a really tough task to come all the way back. Margin for error is essentially 0. Manel works 2/3 of an inning, allowed 2 hits, a wild pitch, no walks, no strikeouts. Responsible for both base runners, Sasaki and Moran.
Of the 14 hits that Stanford has had and have continued to show their offensive prowess in this game, in there does lie some success stories for this Nebraska bullpen, mainly in the guys of Braxton Stewart, Auden Pankinen, and Price Bender. Those guys have come in, thrown strikes, have been able to maneuver out of some situations as well to keep the game where it was and allow Nebraska to be within striking distance, and that's exactly what Caleb Clark's going to have to do with this game getting later and later.
First at bat for Luke Lavin, a .242 hitter a year ago. Left on left matchup for Caleb. First pitch inside, ball 1. And 8 of the 14 hits for Stanford have been for extra bases. That's been the other big story. Clark ready for the 1-0. Down low, 2-0. 11-6. Here in the top of the 8th. Caleb's 2-0 pitch. That's in there at the knees. 2-1. Good spot. Huskers will jump on a plane back to Nebraska, and then, of course, head down to the state of Texas for a tough weekend with Louisville, K-State, and Florida State next weekend. This one inside and just gets a piece of the arm of Lavin. Now the Cardinal have him loaded for the 9-hole batter, Brock Sell. Sell's had a good day out of the 9-hole. 1 for 3. A couple of RBIs, a double, and a walk. No place to put him for Clark. Caleb's pitch. That's in there, 0-1. With just 2 cracks left offensively, he'd really like to find the escape hatch here in this inning. The 0-1. Slider down and away. Good block by Worthley. Holds all 3 Stanford runners. Clark from the stretch. The pitch. Inside corner and a beauty. Good pitch there. The fastball. 1-2. Caleb takes a deep breath. Holds it as letters. The pitch. Strike 3, outside corner. And Stanford will leave them loaded in the top of the 8th. Job by Clark out of the pen, coming in and getting a strikeout. Cardinal do score 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, and they leave them loaded. So we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Cardinals lead now 5-11-6. You're listening to the Huskers Radio Network.
Now's the time to save on trucks at Woodhouse Chevy. Lease the 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500 Custom Crew Cab 4x4 for $399 a month. Or save up to $10,000 off MSRP on retired courtesy 2026 Chevy Silverado 1500s when financed through dealer. Woodhouse Chevy. Together, let's drive. With approved credit, tax title license extra, $299 doc fee, do it signing. Retired courtesy loaners, qualifying trade-in of 2011 or newer vehicle. Lease for 39 months, 10,000 miles plus first payment. Finance based on manufacturer rebates. Expires March 31st, 2026. See dealer for details.
Feel like you're always on the run? Me too. As an independent financial professional, I help all kinds of busy people. Young families planning for college, couples working toward retirement, people securing their legacy. Wherever you are in life, Emeritus can help you get more out of life with insurance, employee benefits, and financial services. You're moving fast. Let's help make sure you're on the path to a fulfilling life. Find your next step at emeritus.com. Insurance products issued by Emeritus Life Insurance Corp.
New pitcher of the game for Stanford. It'll be the Duke transfer from a couple years back, Cassius Thomas. Thomas factored into the season last year as well for Stanford. This will be his actual second appearance here in the 2026 season. Went 1 inning, allowing 1 hit, struck out 3 while walking no one. The opposition in that inning hit .250 against Cassius Thomas. A little bit more of a struggle last year for Stanford. Earned run average was just north of 10. But he will come in and try to keep the game where it is for Stanford. Trying to put the doubt in the Husker hitters' heads right now here as we're running out of time.
Thomas, another over-the-top right-handed thrower. Good velocity. Fastball, curveball mix for him. And the Huskers going to need to string a big inning together. They want to, again, be a part of this one. Down 11-6. Marsh comes. And for Thomas, he'll get 2, 3, and 4 in the Husker order. The right spot of the lineup to do it.
And again, you're just looking to get base runners on, much like earlier in the game. Not overthinking it, just know what you're looking for. Got to have a little bit of that plate discipline as well and just get some guys on base here. See what happens.
Jet Buck going to lead it off. First pitch misses up and in with a fastball, 1-0. That's the entire key. Find a way on base. Hand the baton to the next guy. The 1-0 pitch. Buck takes right over at the knees. 1-1. Jet today is 1 for 3. He doubled in the first. Drew a walk in the 5th. Here's the 1-1. Sharply hit. It's going to find its way through into left center. Another multi-hit game for Jet Buck. Throw gets away momentarily. Sasaki backs up the play. No advance from Jet. His run means nothing to this point. Good start for the Huskers here in the 8th. Case Sanderson's turn. Case, a rare tough day, 0 for 3. He did draw a walk back in the first. He's had a monster weekend. Batting a flat 500. Thomas brings it home. Outside corner called. First strike on Sandy. It looked a little off the plate from here. 0-1 the count. Thomas comes set, the 0-1. Sanderson, big cut and miss. That fastball ate him up a bit. Had some cut action to it. And now it's 0-2. Even the scoreboard has 1-1. But it is 0-2. Thomas set. The pitch. Up and out. Fastball. 1-2. Sandy, left-handed hitter. Buck a modest lead at first. Here's the pitch. Low with another heater, 2-2. All in all, a very good weekend for Husker baseball to open the season. 3-0 coming into today. Offense has been as good as you could have hoped for through 4 games. This pitch hit him. So the Huskers get one there on a 1-2 pitch. Sanderson plunked on the foot. The Huskers have 2 on and nobody out. Nebraska has had multi-hit efforts in all 4 games. should say double-digit hits is what I meant to say.
Well, they've had multi-hits from several players.
That's kind of what I was blending the two together.
You're caught between. I get it.
Still the first weekend for us.
You weren't wrong with either.
That's true.
Statement there. Jared's trying to say you were, but I got you.
Overbeek the hitter. Another good day for Joshua. Speaking of multi-hit efforts, another one for him. 2 on, nobody out. Huskers chasing 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Cassius Thomas working for Stanford. First pitch, Overbeek lays off a fastball up 1-0, and quickly Stanford getting some emergency help ready in the bullpen as Trevor Moore, a right-hander, has started to play catch. Beek today, 2 for 4 with a double. Thomas brings it home. Overbeek, a good cut, fouled it straight back. He just missed that one. He had some big thoughts on that swing. 14 hits for Stanford, 13 for the Huskers. Thomas comes set, the pitch. Inside corner called strike. Good pitch, 1-2. It doesn't seem like he has much besides the fastball today.
Yeah. A little sink action with it, but he's up there right between 94 and 95 pretty consistently.
Overbeek back in. He's going to have to protect. The pitch. Fouled at the plate. That thing settled just off to the right of home plate. Overbeek stays alive. Joshua takes a deep breath. Switch hitter batting left-handed against the righty Thomas. Here's the pitch. Overbeek pulls one on the ground, just foul, first base side. Gloved by Sasaki in foul territory. So Overbeek hanging tough with 2 strikes. Again, trying to find any way to reach base to get Dylan Carey to the plate. 2 on, nobody out. Huskers down more than a handful here at 11-6. Here's the 1-2. That shot to the third baseman who gloves it off to his left on a soft line drive. It almost fooled Moran off the bat. I think he thought it was hit a lot harder, and he goes to the ground and makes a pretty nice catch. Heads up base running by Buck at second and Sandy at first to stay where they're at. So soft line out to third for Overbeek, and that'll get Carey to the plate.
Yeah, you're 100% right on watching Moran over there. That's what I was hoping for, is that he had an ill-advised dive forward, or at least a second too soon, where that ball might creep just under him or take a funny hop over to his right to allow everyone to reach safely.
Brief halt in the action as Thomas ties his right shoe. Carey today has been solid at the plate, 2 for 4. 9 hits here on the weekend. He's driven in 6. First one on the way. Fastball up 1-0. Dylan has homered this weekend, tripled, doubled, and of course singled. Thomas goes from the stretch. The 1-0. Carey cues one off the end of the bat and spins in foul ground. Count 1-1. Dylan has just played a dynamic shortstop today. He's probably saved 3 or 4 runs with his glove.
I'd be very curious to see and hear what scouts think of that young man defensively. Plenty around this weekend.
Here's the 1-1. That's launched in the right center field gap. Long run for Marsh, the right fielder, and he runs it down. And Buck unable to tag up. That thing was smoked into the gap. And unfortunately, from a right-handed hitter, you get that tail toward the line, and it went right into the glove of the right fielder. That ball was smoked off the bat of DC. And unfortunately, the runners had to hold. So a loud second out. And the 8th inning is up to Cole Kitchens. Thomas goes from the stretch and the pitch. Cole swings and lines one over the heads of the Stanford Cardinal in the first base dugout, 0-1. Cole had a 2-run double back in the 3rd inning. That got Nebraska on the board. Came around to score. He has also walked today. Productive weekend, opening weekend for him as a Husker. The 0-1 bounced over the head of Thomas, but right into the glove of the second baseman who steps on the bag, and that'll end the inning. Huskers get a threat in the 8th with a leadoff single to hit by pitch, but a line out, a loud fly out, and a sharply hit grounder ends the inning. No runs, a hit, no errors. Huskers leave 2 more. They have stranded 10. We go to the 9th. Stanford 11, Nebraska 6. This is Big Red Baseball.
In Nebraska, the good life means mornings that wait for you. A porch swing or a skyline view. Work that matters and time that's yours. Neighbors who wave. Hey there. Stars you can almost touch. A mortgage that makes sense. More space, more time, more life. Nebraska, the good life is calling. Are you ready to answer? Learn more about living in Nebraska at www.thegoodlifeiscalling.com.
Spotting the perfect fit is kind of your thing. So when it comes to finding a used car, start your search at FordBlueAdvantage.com and find the perfect certified pre-owned vehicle at your local Ford dealer. One that comes with serious perks, like a thorough inspection, a Ford-backed warranty, even a Carfax report. Because you know what they say, the best finds are the ones that feel made for you. Ford Blue Advantage. Used car buying that's built for you. Available at participating dealers only. See your dealer for details and limitations.
Made our way to the top of the 9th inning in this one, with Stanford out in front by 5, 11-6. New pitcher on for Nebraska will be the junior righty out of Elkhorn North High School. As Ryan Harrihill making his 2nd appearance of the weekend through on Saturday. Nebraska's victory over Northeastern. Harrihill in that outing went 2 innings. Struck out a hitter, did not walk one, did not allow a run or a hit in that appearance. Again, another guy that his coaching staff is excited about the type of role that he can have as either a long reliever, a matchup guy, or anything they need him for. A lot of solid development and improvement from last year to this year with Ryan Harrihill, and he will be on for Nebraska here in the top of the 9th.
It's really hard to win baseball games after a 6-run first inning, especially on day 4 of the weekend. Nebraska gave it a valiant effort and still have 1 inning to go. Tip of the cap to Bryce Bender, Caleb Clark, Auden Pankinen, giving Nebraska a shot in this one. Harrihill will have the top of the Stanford order. This will be the 6th plate appearance of the afternoon for Tatum Marsh. Marsh 1 for 5. Started the game with that ringing triple. Takes the first pitch inside 1-0. That really set the tone. That gap shot to right center field for the Cardinal today. The 1-0. Nice slider on the inner half here, 1-1.
Yeah, then you got that infield single that drove him in, and then the hit parade was on.
That one chewed up Marsh. It rolls out to Harrihill, who picks it up. Foul ball, 1-2, and that really got in on the hands of Marsh. "27 hits in this game. 14 for Stanford, 13 for Nebraska. Swing and a miss as Harrihill gets a strikeout of Marsh. Nice looking slider there from Harry. And there's one away.
Harrihill, another guy, again, we've heard so much about the work he's put in the offseason, but also the body. He just looks so much stronger.
He just loves being a Husker. Here's Bates. Takes the first pitch low, 1-0. Those guys that grow up watching Husker baseball and are just proud to represent the end, that is Harrihill. This is just outside 2-0. He has worked through some struggles, but finding some success late in his career. The 2-0. That just missed. Will Jeske would like a word.
That was I want to make it sound like this is a different game. That was a big miss.
It was. The next one, same exact spot. This one a strike. Harrowhill takes a breath. Now ready to work. The 3-1. Sprayed off to the left and out of play.
I love the conversation that we had with Rob Childress about just subtle changes with his delivery and the world of difference it could make as well.
Here's the payoff. That one's looped to shallow right. Buck calling for it. Waits for it to come down and makes the catch. Man, Harrowhill has eaten alive the first two Cardinal that he's faced. These were some wooden bats. This would be an expensive inning for Stanford. He would have probably broken a couple already.
Well, you go back to the fact that Ryan Harrowhill loves being a Husker. There's a lot of things they have tinkered with in the last 2 years with his delivery. You got to be coachable, first and foremost, to be able to apply it.
Nadai swings the first pitch, and he gets a lazy fly ball to right center field. Moyer coming in, a few steps to make the catch. Ryan Harrowhill has been a shining star for the Huskers here in the opening weekend on the mound. Very efficient, easy, top of the ninth. Cardinal are retired in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. 11-6 the Stanford lead. Last licks for the Huskers as we go to the bottom of the ninth. This is the Huskers Radio Network.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
When second's making a play, short's got it covered.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle.
Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right coverage. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcats!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
See Shelter agents Craig Kerr, Jeff Bond, or Matt Moorhead in Lincoln today.
Let's pause 15 seconds for station identification on the Huskers Radio Network.
And Stanford will go to a new pitcher on the mound. Senior righty out of Golden, Colorado, Trevor Moore will make his second appearance this season. Through over the weekend. On a Saturday, went 1 2/3, giving up 2 hits, walking a batter and striking out a batter, with the opponents hitting .333 against Trevor Moore. Also, pretty heavy workload last season. Went 25 2/3 for the Cardinal last year with a 6.31 earned run average. Moore now in for Stanford as they try to put this one away here in a long afternoon at the ballpark.
You'll see a pinch hitter as Preston Freeman has grabbed a bat for Nebraska. Freeman, a redshirt junior from Floresville, Texas, transfer from Cisco College. Saw Preston late in the game yesterday. Huskers need 5 runs to keep playing. The 6-run top of the first inning for Stanford just made this a Mount Everest-sized hurdle for Nebraska to climb. It'll be 7, 8, 9 scheduled to hit against right-handed throwing Trevor Moore. One of the rare non-California products on this Stanford roster. Freeman stands in there and takes ball 1. After the 9-0 start, Nebraska scored 6 straight to make it 9-6. This one's at the knees, 1-1. The 2 runs in the 8th from Stanford really just felt backbreaking. 1-1. Here's the pitch. There's a curve and swung through by Freeman. It was down near shoot tops. A lot of movement on that. The Huskers have stranded 12 on base here today. Freeman down in the count, 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Just got a piece of it back to the backstop. That was another slider. The runners in scoring position numbers for Nebraska this weekend have been solid, but not stellar today. Just 3 out of 14 with runners in scoring position. One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch fouled off to the left and out of play. The Huskers have had 2 base runners at least in 6 of their 8 innings. They've had plenty of opportunities. The 1-2, swing and a miss. Slider at his back foot. Freeman's asking if he got a piece of that. The umpire said no. And there's one away for Will Jeske. Another good day for Jeske. Had the 2-run home run in the 3rd. His average had an even 500. Moore deliberately working and brings it home. Fastball low, 1-0.
Well, Ben, if you can get Will Jeske to give you this type of contribution at the bottom of the lineup, and looking at other guys like Cole Kitchens, it's going to be a fun offense to watch.
That one is ripped to left field and caught on a line by the leaping left fielder Sell. Jeske is just living on the barrel, and a tough luck out there. And the Huskers down to their last out to avoid their first loss of the year. And it's Mac Moyer. Boy, what a story for Mac here today. First Husker start, and he is 4 for 4. Couple of doubles and a run scored. First pitch. In for a strike. 0-1.
He's really done a nice job of roaming center field as well.
Here's the 0-1. Breaker just a little bit low, 1-1. Didn't need confirmation, but I went for it anyway. Last Husker with 5 hits is Gunnar Hellstrom.
Oh, you remember that.
The legendary Rutgers performance. That one misses off, 2-1.
What would you guess the top exit velocity on any of those 5 hits was?
Well, I think he doubled in one of them that was hit reasonably hard. But the average...
Did he have a double in that one?
The 2-1 in the dirt, 3-1. The average exit velo couldn't have been more than 85. The patented Gunner special.
He was just
one right through the 4-hole.
Just finding them all over the infield that afternoon against Rutgers out in Piscataway.
The 3-1 pitch. Ball 4. So Huskers get a base runner. And Devin Nunez has grabbed a bat. First look today at Nooney.
We got to enjoy Gunnar Hellstrom helping out on the coaching staff for a little bit as well.
And pitch clock violation? Well, he needed a report.
Yeah, I think that was what it was.
We really backed off the gas pedal on the pitch clock violations. We were setting a record there in the first inning and a half.
I believe, Ben, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe in every game there was at least one called, whether it was on Nebraska or the opposition, in every game we played out here.
Sounds right. First pitch to Nunez. That one's crushed to right. Marsh chasing it to the track, reaches up. Did he catch that?
Yep.
Unbelievable catch. Diving backwards onto the warning track. Arguably the catch of the year to finish the game.
Wow.
That was unbelievable. And the Stanford Cardinal are going to win this one by the final 11-6. My goodness. That was smoked off the bat of Nunez. And the Huskers are going to fall for the first time this year. 11-6. We're back to wrap it up on our getaway day here in Arizona. This is Big Red Baseball.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations